Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Hollywood After Dark. Of course, tonight is the 29th of December, 2021. Just 2 days to go until we get to say F you to this effing year and get into 2022, where who knows what's going to happen. Hopefully good, hopefully great things. But tonight is the drama, folks. The Rock officially runs away from the Fast and Furious franchise. Boba Fett drops to mixed reviews. Encanto's dirty adult secret that only I uncovered. And of course, a little bit of Zack Snyder stuff, because you know what? Why in the hell not? Why don't we dive into it right fucking now? Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. I hope you all had yourself a fantastic day. It's still really effing cold in Washington. We're getting a second bout of snow flurries tonight. With any luck, my internet will hold, but I have been holed up in my own house for a number of days, and I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little bit on the edge. I want to go out. I want to go see the world, not just walk down my street and ask myself why I left California. I mean, sure, you know, heat waves, fires, earthquakes, and I have to deal with just rain and some snow. It is what it is. But tonight's going to be an interesting night. There's actually a lot to cover as we lead into the new year. A lot of little things going on, like TASM 3 is apparently being hinted at pretty heavily. A lot of people are trying to jump on that bandwagon early. Zack Snyder dropped a little bit of tease, a little tickle, if you will, for Rebel Moon. And, of course, is out there once again giving people hope, which I shouldn't mock, but I kind of am, and I'll talk about that as to why. But kicking off tonight, my friend, your friend, you know him, you like him, Jimbo. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Pretty good. I copped a PS5 today, so wrote off the bat in the morning, so it was a pretty great day so far.
Are you serious? Like, you're going to come in here and just say, like, I got a PS5, like you're just, like, dusting off your shoulders like Luke fucking Skywalker? Like, bitches?
Yeah, dude. It's a struggle. That's why I'm like, I copped a PS5, because it's a struggle. It's crazy.
It's a struggle, right?
We talked about this last night.
Yeah, but it's like the most affluent struggle ever. It's like the most like middle class suburban struggle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The people out there in the streets that are like, I can't get food, I can't get water, and then Jimbo's like, man, I couldn't get me a PS5, but goddamn, I did. No, it's all good, dude. It's all good. My brother's girlfriend works at GameStop, and she was like, yo, we got some PS5 bundles, $800. And I'm all like, nah, dog, I ain't gonna pay that. You know, yeah, I'm not gonna pay. I don't need the bundle. I don't want the bundle. I don't want to give GameStop money, you know, unless I absolutely have to. I try not to give them into cash if I don't have to. But you know, I'm like, all right, well, you know, but she's like, when we get them in that are just regular, I'll let you know. I'm like, all right. So if I have to drive 100 miles south just to get a PS5, I probably would. And it would be an excuse to see my brother and my sister and my mom and everything, obviously. But, you know, priorities.
Yeah.
Got to get that PS5. I can't even say how. Hey, remember when they were calling the PS3 the PS Triple? Do you remember that at all? Chaz Warden, that whole meme, that was great. Yeah. That was pretty great. I see we also got Caden joining the party. What's going on, Caden?
What's up?
Not too much. Real quick here, McLeod is asking, what the hell are you and Max fighting about now? Look, long and short of it essentially is this. Max doesn't do his research and then likes to kind of run with it and doesn't like that I push back. And then in this case, a lot of other people are pushing back on him. So that's about that. It's more of a jokey fight than anything else, but it is what it is. Also, Andrew Dunbar here with a $2 super chat right off the bat. Thank you, buddy. Says Boba Fett was too short. It was, but it was also really, really good. So we'll talk about that as the show goes on. I don't want to start off the night with spoilers, as there are a lot of other topics to get to on this evening. It's Chad Warden, says Underhaven. It's Chad. I thought it was Chaz Warden. It's Chad Warden. I guess Chad makes more sense.
I
thought it was Chaz, though.
Chaz?
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, is it Chad? I guess I'm looking up here. Maybe it's Chad. I was wrong. Oh, yeah, I was wrong. I got it wrong. You know, he did a video. This was, oh my God, this is such a great video.
Max was right. Jarbo is wrong.
I do get things wrong here, right? But back in the old days, this guy put out a video that says why the PS3 is better than the Wii and the 360. And like, it was such a troll job. It was beautiful. and it pissed off the gaming internet.
Oh,
Just like, I mean, dude, because back then we were in the hardcore console wars territory. Nowadays, it's not as much. It's not as bad.
Now it's just like,
it's like there's
exclusives.
crossplay on a lot of those games. Like, okay, cool. Really, it's just the exclusives. But this guy's out there going like the PS triple better than the Wii and the 360. But like, back then, dude, the PS3 was shit. Let's be fair. The PS3 had a couple good games on, a couple good exclusives, but at the end of the day, it lost out hard to the Xbox.
Stole the show for sure, and
Because Xbox actually like worked with the fan base and was like, wasn't as isolated as Sony was, and then they completely switched gears for the last generation, where Microsoft was all like, no, we're gonna go kind of isolationist over here, and then Sony's like, yeah, no, we're opening it up to the Western market. Let's have ourselves a grand time. It was a weird thing.
Yeah, PS4 took over now. Seems like it's like kind of a bat, but so far sales and demand for PS5 is way higher than the Series X. It's honestly easier to get a Series X now than it was a year ago, and it's kind of wild seeing that. And it's because Sony is announcing all these really great exclusives, which is honestly Sony's biggest power over Xbox is their exclusive, like Spider-Man, Wolverine coming out, Miles Morales, Uncharted, and any other feature. In God of War, it's like their huge selling points.
Oh no, those are massive selling points. And then you realize though that what is Xbox gonna go and do? Oh, Elder Scrolls 6, Fallout, exclusive to Xbox, and you're like, well, there goes that. Like, I mean, at least to an extent, it feels like there are going to be worthwhile exclusives on both platforms.
Yeah.
The last generation, Xbox did not really have that many worthwhile exclusives. They had a couple, but they didn't have that many that you would consider to be like great. But then Phil Spencer comes on and then he's all like, yo, we're just going to throw billions upon billions upon billions of dollars and start buying up these companies. I mean, the fact that they have
about the parent company of Bethesda, so that was like a huge thing, and that's like that was like huge news for a while, because that's like everyone was like sad, like PS5 fans and Xbox fans were all like, okay, so is Xbox gonna get the exclusive? Which honestly, I don't think Elder Scrolls should be exclusive to Xbox, because I mean, since they own Bethesda, they could technically make more money by allowing PlayStation to have it. And it's always been along, like, all consoles have been able to get Elder Scrolls games.
Yeah, but you don't drop $8 billion for a non-exclusive. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of the whole fucking point.
But they could make money, though. If
they're going to make, the idea, though, is that they're going to make more money off of getting people to become Xbox Game Pass members. Think of it like this. Okay, so you pay $15 a month, which averages, what is that per year? $150. No, that's $180 a year. So roughly the price of 3 video games, right? Three current. Well, I mean, they're going to go to 70s, like, but whatever. Let's say around 3 video games, and you get access to all first-party Xbox titles, of which there's going to be many, and you get access to all the Games Pass stuff and whatever else they're doing with Xbox Gold and all that shit. So they're creating a service, and that service, if you get $180 a month out of, like, let's say like 10 million people who have it for PC and for Xbox, I mean, that's how much is that? Like $1.8 billion a year, like that's
by that strategy, by 8 years, they'll meet.
Well, maybe I'm wrong on my math there. I feel my math is off on that one. Let me
pull a calculator.
Yeah. Let me do this right here. 180 times 10 million is I was right, 1.8 billion. And that's a lot. I mean, I feel like they could probably get more, like, because it's, you think about the way Netflix and Disney Plus, like Netflix has 216 million subs and stuff, so like they get all these billions per month, but $1.8 billion a year on that's not going to be bad. Never mind what they charge for the access to the service. So you have to have Xbox Gold in order to even get access to Xbox Game Pass.
Well, I just Googled how many Xbox users have Game Pass, and as of October 19th, 2021, reported by Video Game Chronicle, 18 million subscribers currently have Game Pass.
Okay, so wow, 18. Okay, so that ups it then. But again, I was wrong on my estimate, so that's good. It's a lot more, but we can see that this is a popular item, because people are so used to paying subscription services now for entertainment.
They're getting brand new games, like Back 4 Blood's on there, Halo's on there. It's like it's very good that they're adding these games that are from Xbox studios, and they also bought I think it's Ninja Theory, the people who made Hellblade, and Hellblade 2 looks really good, and I'm excited to play that. So they're buying up all these little indie studios as well, which make great games. So like they're slowly making it so they're trying to strengthen their exclusives, which is a good thing because that's Xbox's downfall, is that they don't have like to die for exclusives on like PlayStation. So it's like I see what they're doing, but I just can't help think that like, is it gonna cause another issue because Elder Scrolls and other stuff like that have been for all consoles, and wonder if they could
no, like because they spent the money for it. Like, but I'll tell you this though, they said like I think Starfield is gonna go multiplat. You know, like Minecraft is multiplat because it was already multiplat before they bought Mojang. So but they still make a lot of money off of that. They've worked with Nintendo. I think what's going to happen is eventually Microsoft is going to look into acquiring Nintendo, and because they've already made the attempt, I think back in the late '90s to acquire Nintendo. But Nintendo now is, I think, so fragmented in regards to like their player base. There's a lot of good games on the Switch. I'm not knocking Nintendo as a company, but I do feel that they have not embraced the online gaming in the way that they should. And the Switch Online is still pretty crappy, and it hasn't really had any killer apps for it. And I feel like, as always, they just kind of rest on what they've sold before, rather than what could potentially be the big hit, you know, going forward and stuff. That's everything else. Now JP does bring up a point though for Forza for Microsoft, and that's really big. Forza Horizon was really big. Game. And then but then also remember it was Gran Turismo versus Forza. Like that was back then it was Project Gotham Racing, then that eventually morphed into Forza. But that was kind of each console had their racing, and Sony has just let Gran Turismo go to the wayside. You know, and I remember back in like 20 years ago when like Fast and Furious came out, there was Tokyo Drift was on Dreamcast and PlayStation 1, I think. And that was pretty popular because everyone wanted to get into like street racing and stuff. And then, you know, also, and I'll just say this as like my own personal complaint, where the fuck is the Burnout franchise? You know?
I mean, they remastered it, but there hasn't been any new installments recently.
RJ says here, this is the most frustrating, anger-inducing stream and chat I've ever dealt with my entire life. I know he's not talking about this chat, but he's talking about Max's chat. I don't know. I left. I was already getting kind of frustrated.
I'm like, I was gonna stay there for a little bit, but I'm like, I can't. This is actually kind of annoying me.
TW's talking about Max's chat. No, my chat's chill, dude. Quad gets a lot of love. I got people telling me today that they love the show. Like people that I haven't talked to before, new people are telling me that all the time. So no. I keep it chill here. People. I know you very much enjoy coming over here, and I like having you here too. But no, it's as this continues to kind of go outward, I think it's a lot of fun. Yeah, we get into some hot topics and stuff, but it's all good. McLeoder says, I'm still pissed off that all the future Bethesda titles, especially Elder Scrolls and Starfield, is going to be Microsoft. I don't believe Starfield is going to be a Microsoft exclusive. I think that's going to be a multi-plat. However, I will say this. If they make it, it would be, and I'm saying you won't like this, but I'm just going to say it. If they make Starfield for just the Xbox, that is a baller move. That is a dick on the table move. That is an absolute, like, you are coming over to Xbox if this is what you like. And then here's the other part of that too. And I'll say this and we'll move on. And this is what I have a Fallout hoodie that I wear. I have a Fallout 4 hoodie that I wear all the time. And I get compliments on it daily, because there's a lot of Fallout nuts out there, and that's awesome. I love that. But like one of the things I do is when I talk to people about this, I ask them, I'm like, did you hear that Microsoft bought Bethesda? And they're like, no, I didn't. Or they'll say, yeah, I did. I'm like, okay, well, let me tell you what I think is going to happen. I think that Microsoft is going to tell Bethesda Studios, to just focus on Starfield and on the Elder Scrolls. And I think that Phil Spencer is going to give the Fallout brand to Obsidian. Now, for those of you who don't know this, Obsidian Entertainment was originally Interplay and Black Isle, the original creators of Fallout back in the 90s. Go back and play Fallout New Vegas. That was done by Obsidian. That one is considered to be like the more, by diehard Fallout fans, that is considered to be like the definitive Fallout 3. And that's like a game a lot of people love because it was done by Obsidian. And I think now that they're going to give, I think they're going to give the rights to Obsidian and let Obsidian go ahead and start developing Fallout. And because the thing is, for one, they would get rid of that Todd Howard bloat. I think they would really streamline Fallout. I think they would make it a much better franchise. I liked Fallout 4, but my God, did it drag on in a lot of ways.
Yeah, they definitely could have proved, and Fallout 76 wasn't. Oh, that was a. Yeah, I would say that was a flop. Not a lot of people enjoy that. There's still a giant player base for that, but a majority from what I saw at launch was that it was not it. It's cool that you can play multiplayer, but it's just like from a lot of people when it first came out, I haven't been more updated with it because I just passed on it.
Yeah,
it's on Game Pass, so if you want to check it out, definitely check it out. But it wasn't the Fallout game that they wanted for multiplayer. I heard it's maybe still buggy, but I don't know. But yeah. So
okay, I was wrong. Starfield is is a Xbox only exclusive. Well, then there you go, buddy. I'll be playing that November 11th, 2022.
I'm excited to play that.
Cuddled up in bed.
Yeah, I mean, is it also did they announce that all like Bethesda games are gonna be exclusive, or is that still kind of on?
No, it's going to. It will be on PC as well, like there because they have they have Games Pass for PC.
Yeah, but I mean, just confirmed to be Xbox and PC exclusive, not PlayStation.
Yeah, it's gonna be. They're not gonna go PlayStation. They're dumping that. Be Water, my friend says Fallout 4 did drag on. I never finished it because it was so repetitive. I felt like I was making no progress after several hours. Yeah,
you're a synth.
I did that too. I actually started replaying it again a couple years ago. I started going through it again, and I got like maybe 3/4 of the way into the game, and I just kind of lost interest in it. Like I was like, all right, like it's not really gripping me. I like a lot of the side missions. I enjoy a lot of the side stuff, but and then also like the base building shit. I just kind of that didn't interest me at all.
That was so annoying. But mods make it a lot more fun. If you get bored with it, I just install mods, and it just becomes way more fun.
And I think at this point, that's basically going to end up being what they're going to have to like realize that a lot of people then with. Actually, by the way, here, as we're talking about Xbox, before we jump into the movie stuff, according to the business of esports.com, Xbox is working with TV manufacturers to bring cloud gaming to your screen. And that, of course, is the future. Make no mistake. Cloud gaming is going to be where they want everyone to go. Well, and that's going to be...
There actually is cloud gaming currently. I mean, I don't know
the Stadia, but that's not very stable. We're not there yet. Our infrastructure in the States is not there yet.
There is cloud gaming because I go on Game Pass right now, and there's a cloud button, and it allows me, and it says yes for Back 4 Blood. I've done this before. Play this game now with cloud gaming or install for the best experience. Playing Back 4 Blood, which is a multiplayer game, I've tried this because I don't have it installed because I don't have enough room, but I'm going to install it since I have a hard drive. It runs actually pretty well. If you have a decent internet, you could just stream games that you don't have installed, and it does good. If the frame rate's pretty decent if you have really good internet, but the graphics are not the same. They're actually kind of less, and they can drop down to really bad qualities at some point, but it's based on your internet. So it's good, and it's worked surprisingly better than what I expected. But cloud gaming is available, and it's in beta stage for I think it's just for Game Pass, but I'm not sure. But all the Game Pass games, or majority, are cloud.
Jess here makes a great point. For cloud gaming, we need better internet because in this country, our infrastructure is shit. Our internet infrastructure is absolutely shit. And it's also like internet needs to become a public utility. And, they need to start regulating it on that front because, I mean, I'm paying, what am I paying right now? I'm paying $115 a month for 1.2 gigabytes of usage, I think. And I get about 250 megs down, which is pretty good. It's not bad internet, but it's like, I mean, considering I live literally in the forest, I'm surprised I get it. But at the same time, it's like, $1,300 a year for this shit, and it's like I don't feel like, and that's all I have is cable internet. I don't have anything else. So we need to work on that as a country, and hopefully the FCC, who's been remarkably silent since Biden took over. I don't know what's going on over there. Yeah. There's that. So Jess says here. So we're going to talk about Bruno.
Bruno, what?
Sorry, I just literally wrapped up that movie tonight before my kids go to bed. Let's see here. Like, we're gonna talk. We don't talk about Blue. No. All right. So there's a movie that just came out called Encanto. and it's actually a solid movie. It's on Disney Plus right now. It's a kids movie. It's a musical. But I caught a dark secret. I caught something in there that I know, dude. Like I'm watching that movie today, and there's this line, and it's so fucking fast. And if you don't catch it right away,
it's like
it is like it will go over everybody's head. But I swear to God, there is a whole thing in there about the incest porn craze on places like Pornhub. All right. So I'm not even making that up. So we all know that Disney movies, right? Disney movies have every once in a while there's a little bit of the dirty joke tossed in.
To keep adults interested in stuff like
that.
But
the thing with Encanto though is like the sound mix is really like not that great for Disney Plus, so it's kind of hard to hear. So here I'll bring it up here. So this is the thing. So I said there's a scene in Encanto that essentially describes Pornhub's incest taboo fantasy popularity. And if you've ever been to Pornhub, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you're going to sit there and say, I've never been to Pornhub, you are a fucking liar.
Were you ever 15?
Okay. No, dude, when I was 15, we had dial-up internet and like, you know what, physical magazines of Playboy. All right.
I'm talking about current
nowadays. For one, 15-year-olds should not be looking at that kind of stuff, but you know.
They do.
B Water says one line gave you all that. Yes, B Water. Yes, it did. So let me explain why. So there's a scene. They're hanging out in Bruno's man cave, right? He's hanging out by himself all the time, and he's like, "Hey, listen, we've got access to there's entertainment here too. We got sports, we have game shows, and then he goes, we have telenovelas, right?" And he brings up this image here of two rats, and they're doing a telenovela thing, okay? And so what he says, so then going back to this, Mirabelle says, I don't understand, not referring to what he's saying there, but he goes, oh, well, you see, she's his aunt, but she doesn't know she's his aunt because she has amnesia and their love cannot be. You see, it's kind of taboo. And so it's like the dude is talking, it's not like he's literally describing a guy who is trying to like fuck his aunt. You know, he's literally describing it. And then, so I went to Pornhub and I found this title called Family Sinners Dude Gets Caught by His Step Aunt Jerking Off While Sniffing Her Panties. And so, I just decided to add that together as a joke. But that's kind of the whole point is like, there's that line there about this guy's going to like screw his aunt. And I was like, she doesn't know because she has amnesia. And it's taboo. And the fact that he said it's taboo is what caught my eye. Because every time I make fun of Pornhub and I make fun of all of the shit that they do there with all of this, meta incest shit that goes on, it's always taboo, which is why people they're interested in like
step bro.
Yeah, right. What are you doing, step bro? Dark Beast here says that's common in telenovelas. About what? About nephews boning their aunts? Right? Like, what the hell, man? Come on. I get it. It's probably part of this, but I'm making a really shit post joke here is what I'm doing. All right. It's like if you go and you look at my, if you go look at my pinned tweet on Twitter right now, this is my pinned tweet. What if I told you that the shorthand for Fortnite costumes is hashtag foreskins? That's my,
wow. This is a children's game, Jarbo.
I know. But I mean, it's working on it. I got 6 retweets, I'm working.
Yeah, it's doing it.
Look, I'm not saying that okay, the amnesia. I know the amnesia is a popular storyline, but it's the fact that the nephew is like in love with this woman and it's his aunt, but she doesn't know that she's his aunt and it's taboo because her love can never be. Still at the end of the day, it's literally all about just, the smash. All right. It's just smash is what it's about. Geeks here says Disney used to have an eggplant hidden on VHS covers. That's right. It did on The Little Mermaid. The original Little Mermaid had that. And that was a big thing. And then there's like in The Lion King, there's a part where you can see like some dust fly up and it spells out the word sex, So I always thought that was pretty funny. But then again, like Planet says, it's a real family-friendly movie. Oh my god!
I've not seen it, but now I kind of want to check it out.
No, it's a solid movie, right? It's a solid movie. I really enjoyed Encanto. We've watched it now I've watched it personally about 10 times. So there's that. Dark Beast here says, don't quit your day job. This is my day job. So there's that. Anyway, Disney Plus After Dark. It's not sex. Well, I mean, it is mounting because, technically Simba and Nala did get it on, at the end. But, after they sang, "Can you feel the love tonight?" There was some cheeks getting clapped.
Yeah, I mean,
there was some cheeks getting clapped.
They have kids later on, so I mean, that's probably.
Yeah. Andrew here says it's Oedipus, bro.
Stop.
Also, Lion King stars read SFX. Whatever, man. Y'all just don't want to see that bottom line, right? Y'all don't want to see that bottom line. It's great. Anyway, I just got that tonight. I just wanted to do a little bit of a shit post there. John Doe says Jarbo loving the Disney porn. I'm not loving the Disney porn. All right. Rule 34 in animation is not really a thing for me. That doesn't, unless it's like Jessica Rabbit. All right. I'll fully admit I got a thing for redheads. What can I say? All right. Well, I wanted to wait for everyone else to get here. So we'll talk about one thing that Kaden and I were talking about in the private chat earlier today. And that, of course, is this new thing here about apparently Andrew Garfield is coming back as Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 3. A lot of people talking about this. A lot of people think that it's real. This Forbes article here is not saying that it's going to happen, but it just says, I just want it for the title. I read the article and, whatever. But it's saying here that Andrew Garfield likely returning as Spider-Man to fight Venom and Sinister Six. And this is not a scoop. This is whatever. This is all speculation. It's an 11-minute article. If you read it, have it read to you. And all it really just goes through is, it's more of the stuff where they say, oh, this could happen. We don't know if it's going to happen. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people want it. After seeing No Way Home, everyone's just like really on board for it because of Andrew's performance and how it drove the TASM's Spider-Man forward more, and it kind of just gave us more like depth into the character after Gwen's death, which we got a little bit of after. Like it just showed him kind of like still like mourning, but we didn't see like after the Rhino fight at the end of the movie. So it's like it's really cool to see like, oh, so this is what's going on after that. And a lot of people, including some of the Snyder fans, have shifted over and saying, let's make TASM 3. Geralt changed his name to Geralt of the Spider-Verse and has been heavily promoting that. I don't follow him, but I've just been constantly seeing because it gets somehow blasted in my movie topic Twitter feed. But a lot of people are wanting it, and I'm all for it too because it was such a good performance he had. And I honestly want to see, and it's like, in my opinion, Andrew was a great Spider-Man. It's just that he was dealt a bad blow because of studio interference and just a bad script. And if TASM 3 would have been made with the original script that they had, it would have been horrible. TASM 2 would have looked
horrific.
Way better. Yeah, it would have.
Also today, the Hollywood Reporter released a interview with Eric Summer and the other writer of No Way Home, and like they talked about Andrew and Toby, and
Oh yeah, they did. Let me see if I can find the highlights of that on discussing film because they highlighted a couple things with that.
Yeah, and when they were talking about Andrew, they're like when they were discussing, they're like, okay, like it was like they both talked about how Toby and Andrew have inputted to the writing of their story continuation, and like it was funny that they mentioned that Toby is this 47-year-old Spider-Man like he is in real life, and he's like I was like, oh, he's 47 in that movie at the same time as in real life. Okay, that's interesting. But then when they were talking about Andrew, they're like, yeah, like he loved the idea that this is a Spider-Man that's a year older or 2 years older than the one that we saw in TASM 2, but he's still dealing with that whole like Gwen Stacy's death.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they handled it perfectly, and especially with the MJ scene, that was by far one of my favorite moments of the film
and I think we all called that ahead of time too, like from that first trailer. We're like, it's happening. But according to this quote here from the article posted on Discussing Film, Andrew Garfield really loved the idea of his character still being tortured after what happened in Amazing Spider-Man 2 and where that left him, which, again, that was very emotional for the whole audience because that ending of TASM 2 was a solid ending because it was a real, oh my God moment. Like, I was shocked in the theater. I didn't even think that was going to happen. So we don't know. They also say here that both Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were on board for Spider-Man No Way Home before they had read any of the script, saying that they trusted everyone involved. Because this is what this is like. If it would have been Sony, if Sony would have come to them on their own and been like, guys, we're gonna do this. Amazing Spider-Man, Toby Spider-Man together with Tom Holland, and they're like, yeah, but is Marvel involved? And they're gonna be like, Marvel? We don't need Marvel for this. We're good. We don't need Marvel. They're like, nah, dog. I've done 3 movies with you. I've done 2 movies with you. That shit's all fucked up.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
no, they did
They
it.
both got PTSD from their involvements with that.
Yeah.
The studio.
And also, it kind of also kills that whole thing where Grace Randolph was saying, "Oh, he totally signed on like a week, like before shooting was done, so they had to reshoot him in or something like that."
Yeah.
Like,
What?
yeah, she said something like where she like was like, "Oh, he signed on like a week before production was over or something," and then we all know that we knew that he signed on in December, but it took like obviously like he was on board before he saw the paper, so I'm sure he had some hesitation, but he signed on because it was like, oh, I trust Marvel and that whole thing. But yeah, it was like this weird conspiracy theories and rumors that Grace was spreading about Toby. Of course, she likes to spread rumors about certain actors and stuff like that
with little sources a lot. It's just like, hey guys, I found something, or like I thought of something. Sorry, I said found, like she found a source for certain things. It's just like rumors, just pure rumors, and it's just like really, and then it comes out that she was wrong, and it's just like, oh man, credibility.
Well, I mean, Grace, I guess kind of the whole thing of being a scooper, isn't it? Where you have, you get some things right, you get some things wrong, and at the end of the day, it's kind of hit or miss. I think the problem with Grace though is like Grace and maybe a few other people like Casey Walsh and even like maybe Charles Murphy at times, is that they when it's either wrong or whatever, they get called out, like they double down on it, like they double down on it. And like Mikey Sutton, for example, he doesn't do that. Like if people call him out on it, like they don't address it, like publicly at least. They just kind of, all right, whatever, and they move on with their day. And because other people have turned the scoop game into this massive piece of competition. But what I like this one here actually about Chris McKenna saying that Tobey Maguire wanted to keep revelations about his character's post Spider-Man 3 life very minimal. And I like that because it was like, I know we all wanted to know, are you with MJ still? Do you have kids?
Married?
What's going on? Yeah, you
right.
married. Like,
in the article, they kind of mentioned that Chris McKenna and Summers mentioned that there was like the whole controversy like about that line when he was talking about like, I'm still working with MJ. They did confirm that he's married to MJ and all that stuff. So I was like, okay, that's cool.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad
yeah.
that's that's a big thing. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to see if they do anything more with it. I know a lot of people are speculating. I personally am not like willing to jump on the TASM 3 is happening bandwagon right now, but I will say that I do believe that it is very cool that they've done enough money with this and that it feels like that's kind of a possibility. Like that feels like something that could happen based upon the reality of the situation versus other things. Not so much that we'll get into here in a little bit. But a couple other little aspects about this, or at least one more little aspect about this that Caden here showed me was the stunt double for Andrew Garfield made this. This is a weird thing, right? William Spencer says,
I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, this is what he says. So some guy here with like probably one of the most obnoxious Instagram names of all time.
Yeah.
Says congratulations on getting the call.
Elijah.
Yeah. Elijah. Like, oh, okay. Okay there, buddy.
We get it.
Yeah.
Kelly.
Congratulations on getting the call to work on TASM 3. And this is thank you very much. Or thank you so much. Oh shit. I hope Kevin don't see this. Now, there's been a lot of speculation about like deals have already been signed and that it's already set in stone. There's been a lot of people that I think have been trying to run with this very heavily, very, very heavily. speculated thing here. Now, again, my whole point is I go, all right, man, yeah, I think it is entirely possible that there will be some kind of continuation because Sony likes money. And fan service, when done right, is something that people out there are really okay with. And I feel that there is a good idea about where this could go. Now, do I particularly think, though, that in this op-ed by Forbes, which is everything on the internet nowadays is an op-ed, let's be fair. This guy, Mark Hughes here saying all this, that Garfield is likely to return as Spider-Man and fight the Venom Sinister Six makes no fundamental sense. Having his story continue in another universe would be kind of cool for like maybe a one-off to give him a proper conclusion, but not like a whole new trilogy. Because or save him for bringing him, because right now we're in the multiverse saga. They've already introduced
Secret
him.
Wars.
They could bring him back again. Yeah, they could bring him back again. They could bring him and Toby back and like have him be a bigger part in another movie and properly enter the MCU when that time comes. And if I were Garfield or Maguire, and this was something that was brought up or on the table, I would be absolutely okay with that, because the thing is, the reality of it is that it should be Tom Holland fighting Venom and fighting the Sinister Six, because he is the current Spider-Man.
But it doesn't seem like that. Like, I mean, like, after No Way Home, it doesn't seem like it's gonna be Tom Hardy, though, because he got sent back to his own time, and it's like, but of course Venom, like, it might be a different Venom though. Like that's what I'm kind of thinking after that post-credit scene. Like, Tom Hardy's going back to his own universe, but of course that little bit of symbiote is left behind. So maybe we'll find a new host, and that person will be the new Venom, which I am not a fan of. But we'll just have to see what they're gonna do with Tom Hardy's Venom, because honestly, I would love to see Tom face Tom Hardy's Venom, but I would also love to see Andrew fight Tom's Venom. I mean, either or, I'm perfectly fine with, because I feel like both of them.
Yeah, like TW says, I think it possibly be Matt Gargan before he becomes Scorpion, or after the fact.
I don't know.
Well, okay, well maybe they're gonna do something with that, because it is. I mean, like, okay, Michael Mondo is playing Scorpion, and Michael Mondo is of a Hispanic descent, and he was in Mexico, where Venom was when the symbiote was there, and it's entirely possible that whatever breakout happens in Morbius could potentially send him fleeing out of country to kind of protect himself, and he ends up down in Mexico, and then he meets the symbiote, and that could be a thing. I don't know. It sounds kind of dumb. It does. The reason why it should be Tom Holland is because we've already spent all this time building up Tom Holland.
His origin story, setting him up as a legitimate Spider-Man.
And now we get that. Now we are gonna. Are we gonna get Green Goblin and Doc Ock as villains going forward? The answer to that is probably not, because we've already established them as villains, and we don't need to go back down that pathway again. But opening up the Sinister Six, and not having Green Goblin or Doc Ock or Electro
members of the
there's more members of it. It's like, the Avengers always has shifting members and everything else.
Yeah, but they're like the core.
The core, but the core could change, because the core.
Do you guys think they'll pull Olivia Octavius in the MCU?
Oh, yes. That I forgot about that. I absolutely think that Olivia Octavius is going to be the Spider-Man, the Doc Ock in this world, and I say that because when Catherine Hahn played her in Into the Spider-Verse back in 2018, I thought that was really interesting. Mm-hmm. And then there's that Disney show, the Spidey and Friends, whatever it's called. And it's for like kindergartners. My daughter loves it, but Doc Ock is Octavia, and so it's not a guy, it's a girl. And I think that and also Rhino is a villain in there as well. So I think they are setting that in for the younger audience to grow up with those characters like that in television form, in order to then kind of translate that down the road to something we see theatrical.
Yeah, I mean, it's just. I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do, because I just, if they do TASM 3, I don't know if I think more or less it would just be TASM 3, no new trilogy, and then bring them back for Secret Invasion. I think I said Secret War, but I think it would be Secret Invasion. I think that's a potential for it, but it's just like, I don't know. I think there's more of a chance to see TASM 3 than Spider-Man 4. Simply because Toby kind of had like a decent conclusion with Spider-Man 3, showing like at the end where he's dancing with MJ.
Yeah.
But Andrew didn't get like a really great ending. I mean, like, it would be nice to see more of it with like a decent script and less studio interference and just kind of let a decent film be made. It'd be great to see that and kind of give him a third chance, or basically like I would say a second chance at Spider-Man, because he was so great in No Way Home. But overall, I think Tom Holland should definitely get Tom Hardy's Venom, and along with some other like prominent members of the Sinister Six. And I'm really interested to see how they develop Spider-Man 4, which they said that they're already working on with Tom Holland. So
Yeah.
I wonder exactly what they're going to try to do, because I feel like that they throw the Sinister Six right away in with this new trilogy that they're going to do, I feel like it might be, I mean, maybe like our second or third movie into this next trilogy would be good, but just kind of like, it would be nice, since he just made his own homemade costume and he's kind of being like the neighborhood Spider-Man. It would be nice to see him face a prominent villain, but not the Sinister Six. Yeah, to set up like a prominent main villain, but not the Sinister Six quite yet.
I think Scorpion might be the next villain, honestly, because the way because obviously we still that left hook of with the way that Homecoming ended with Vulture, Adrian Toomes talking to Mac, and Mac is like, I know your secret, and I know that you know who Spider-Man is, or blah blah blah.
Not anymore.
And not anymore now, but it's like the thing where that's a left hanging, dangling little thing that needs to be resolved. And now that this whole expanded origin is done, you can go back to that and be like, oh yeah, remember that dude that we saw in Homecoming? He's coming back as the villain. And then obviously we have that ultimate storyline when J. Jonah hires Mac to like become the Scorpion, and then he goes after, and that whole like Spider Slayer storyline.
Yeah,
So
and that's
maybe
probably going
we
to be
see
what they
stuff
establish
like
in
that.
the next one.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Make him a formidable foe in this one. It'd be really cool, because Marvel, like just like when you see Doctor Strange 2 and how they're bringing back the villain from the post-credit scene of Doctor Strange 1, and that was years ago. It's really, and like they don't forget what they set up previously, and so they always continue it. So they've been setting up Scorpion for a while now. So of course at some point they're gonna bring him. So it would be perfect to start off the new trilogy with Scorpion being a prominent villain, maybe along with someone else teased for the next movie. But I think they're definitely going to be doing something in the future with Scorpion, and he's going to be a pretty good foe for Spider-Man.
Well, I want to see Shocker come back. I want to see Bokeem Woodbine, and
I do wonder with, like what happened to him too, like.
Yeah, I would love to see, him come back, and then Scorpion come back, and then Vulture. And there's 3 people that could be part of the Sinister Six right there.
And then a possibility of Aaron Taylor Johnson's Kraven.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then we have just 2 left. And then so those 2 can be the smaller other villains as well. Yeah. So that's your...
Even Venom, perhaps.
Even Venom. Like, perhaps, like, if, and then... Or Donald Glover's Prowler,
Yeah, I see Geeks bring that up in the chat right there. There's a lot of their rogues gallery that they could pull from, and I think at this point, that's what we're going to see out a lot of these movies. Is going to be like the smaller, kind of out of the way villains and shit. I think just because as they're building up towards it, because they don't want to blow through their load too quick.
Yeah,
and I think it could be
Prowler Miles.
Yeah, it says Miles is uncle.
Yeah, so like I don't know if they'll do Prowler for Peter though, or Tom. I think like if they ever did, like maybe they would save Prowler for when they potentially introduce Miles to the MCU, which if they're doing multiverse, it's definitely potentially that they're gonna add Miles, which I don't think it's gonna happen yet, because they're just established Tom and finish his origin story, so I don't think they'll go rush in to introduce Miles yet. But that's definitely something they should save for the future. Whenever they do have a chance to introduce Miles and they feel like it's the right time, they should save Prowler for that and kind of do that story as well.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I don't know what their plans are. I think eventually we're going to find out more. And I think when I say eventually, I mean I think the next couple months, we're going to probably find out more when they officially greenlight, the sequel, which I think is, I guarantee you it's already greenlit. But
Spider-Man 4?
Sorry, Spider-Man 4, yeah, is what I mean.
Oh, it's already greenlit. They already said that they're in early development.
Well, early development only means that they're planning it. It doesn't mean that it's officially, because the thing is, like, yes, they're going to do it. But when it says early development, they need a script. That script then needs to go be fine-tuned. Then that needs to be sent to a line producer for the line producer to go through it line by line and figure out what the budget of it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then go from there. There's a process. There's a whole process.
But it's definitely going to happen, but we don't know when. That's the thing.
Yeah, we just don't know when.
It's going to happen. That's the thing. That's what I mean, but, like, it's going to happen, or, like, it's official and it's greenlit. It's, like, it's going to happen, but it's, like, in, like, the pre stuff of it.
I don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see on that. Look, anything they do with Spider-Man is going to print cash at this point.
True.
As long as it's good, it's going to print cash. I think a lot of people are going to be, I think the movie's going to sell like fucking hotcakes. They've already got their steel books are already sold out.
I've already pre-ordered mine on Best Buy.
I'm waiting for a box set with the trilogy because I don't own any of them, and I hope. Check this out.
So right before, I think right around Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Amazon had a deal. It was the 4K set of the Raimi trilogy, $30, and I was like, that was a pretty solid deal, so I bought it. Then just yesterday, they had all 5 movies, the Raimi and the Garfield movies, like $36 in 4K for all 5, and I'm like, son of a bitch, but because that's the whole point. This is what they're doing. They're going to get rid of that stock right now, so then they can sell you the box set for the other one. When it comes out. So I mean, this is what they do. It's kind of like they sold that really big box set of the Lord of the Rings that had both trilogies, I think, and it was like the worst 4K of the year according to Films at Home, because just like the features were shit and it was just all over the place. So that kind of happens every once in a while. But anyway, RJ, how are you doing? It was pretty wild over there, I'm assuming.
I'm doing all right, I guess. It seems like I've managed to anger everybody, so you know how that goes. But it is what it is.
Yes, I thrive on that.
Piece and I said what I needed to say.
Did it get better?
No, I ended it by saying if you really don't like what I said or anything like that, then you can just unsubscribe. That's what I said. I quoted Saggy, so. I'm about at my wit's end with the topic, and I feel like what happened in that chat kind of exposed to me just how horrible people are in that corner of things. And listen, I will be consistent. Matt, your chat isn't always sunshine and rainbows either, but you know what? At least I don't get called a moron or a Hamada bot or stuff like that. So at least I can have a conversation here, so that's fun.
Yeah, I was actually looking forward to being on the stream and stuff like that, but the chat and just stuff like that, it just really just kind of turned me off, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to avoid this stuff.
And no, and I understand too, it was a hot button topic and issue, and that's perfectly fine. But when you have people calling our good friend Austin a troll and that he's an idiot, or calling Paul Halogen Helix a moron, like he doesn't know anything, it's like, okay, so you're not actually here to have an actual debate or conversation. You're just here to be an asshole. So
throw insults around.
That's always a problem. That's definitely a problem with that one. Now, look, I like to bait controversy every once in a while, and but I do it with a good reason. And like Max putting my face in the fucking thumbnail for no other reason than to troll. It's like, dude, that's going to get me to come on there, and that's going to get me to call you out for, whatever. And I love Max, at least, but I don't know. Like, I think he brings it on himself, and everything else, which is really great that you're here. 'Cause I know you probably don't want to talk about anything Zack Snyder related, but there are actually things to talk about Zack Snyder related today, and a positive. Okay. 2 things positive, 1 thing ugh. Okay, I'll be fair. 2 things positive, 1 thing ugh. All right.
There's actual news this time, not made up news.
Yeah, it's actually yes. There you go.
Okay.
That's a nice way.
Just making sure.
That's a nice way to put it. First and foremost here, let me hold on. Let me bring this back up, because I haven't watched this yet, but I saw that you retweeted it, RJ. And I wanted to give a little bit of solid attention to it, because I feel like it's going to be something that given what happened beforehand, maybe it's time to look to see what people who are passionate and not just scam artists are trying to do. So apparently there is going to be another motion comic attempting to wrap up Justice League 2 and Justice League 3.
Hey, and you know what? Good for them. I mean, listen, I think there's a lot of fan interest in the original project, and that fell apart for numerous reasons.
Yep.
And that kind of stirred up a lot of controversy. And I hope this, second chime's a charm, maybe. Hopefully, they don't have to go for a third. But
yeah, well, they're not including. They're doing this as they wanted to originally do it before they brought in the person who I think torpedoed the project. However, so this is posted by Nicotina, and Nicotina and I have bickered on multiple occasions, but I actually do like Andre quite a bit, and I'm glad to see that they're trying to make this a reality where they are trying to get it done for the fans. And listen, I will support them on this. For me, I even said this last time. I just didn't support Lightcast. That was my big thing. And then Lightcast ended up being the problem, and by being the liar and whatever else. So this may not be as good of quality as what they were doing beforehand, but it seems like they still want to go through and try to make it a reality. And this is the little tease that they put together. I haven't watched this yet. I don't know if there's any sound, so
I don't think there is.
I don't think there is,
I
but
checked it out.
Okay, so we just get to see here Batman, and there's Deathstroke, and there's Flash, and there's half a cyborg. So that's, oh wow, even less than half a cyborg. And just giving us a little taste of what we're going to get out of this. And you know what? I'll be honest, I dig the art style.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. And again, I'm glad they're moving forward with because I like the concept of a motion comic. I feel like the concept of a motion comic could be really, really cool. So hopefully it's executed better than it was the first time. And I support everyone involved with this because I'd love to see how they execute this. And
I really wonder if they've worked, because I know they had all the dialogue already recorded. So what I'm wondering is if they're going to use that again, or if they were able to get everybody to kind of get back on board and calm it all down.
I would love to know that too, because it seems like they had a lot of great talent involved. I think Ray Porter was even involved for Darkseid. So I mean, it would be a shame if that audio went to waste. But we don't know the circumstances of what they're doing with this. So
no. And here's the thing, and like I said, I mean, people look at me as being like the negative Snyder guy. I'm not. I'm actually really interested to see how this plays out, and I wish them the best. And we'll probably watch it here on the stream, and we'll just we'll do a thing. I mean, it kind of Yvonne here says how it should have ended. It kind of has a vibe for how it should have ended, and it does. And it's not. I don't say that as a negative. Actually, that kind of I dig it. I dig it. So
because I like how she's
how it should have ended. It's great. So more of that, please.
Yeah. Milan here says Batman's way too skinny and the Flash is way too buff. Well, I mean, it happens. It happens. And then let's see. TW here says if they have Zebra Fett's work, I'll be hyped. I like his style. Oh yeah, no, I think this is Zebra Fett's work.
This is drawn by Zebra Fett.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he was drawing on stream today, on his Let's Draws stream.
No, Ryan's a great artist, so I'm glad he's working on this. Absolutely.
So I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys tonight to have a little bit of positivity on this front. I know it's been a bit of a wild ride, and we are going to talk a bit about the other side of that here in a brief sec. But I also wanted to touch upon the other thing today that came out, and this was pretty cool. Kind of came out of nowhere, and that is the Rebel Moon concept art that Zack Snyder posted over there on his Vero. Now this is the
sick.
This looks
really cool.
This looks pretty badass, and I was able to get the high res image of this directly from the source of the website, so that's why it's not just a blown up kind of cropped copy of it. What I dig about it is it gives me kind of like the vibes I get is that it clearly not Star Wars, but it feels like a space epic, like a real. Like these are like some bad dudes,
Yeah, like the red. I like the red undertones.
Oh no, this looks great. I love the way this looks. I would love to see more, and I'm glad we're finally getting teases for this project because it's one of the projects I'm actually looking forward to the most. So,
well, here's the thing with that too is what have we been talking about the last couple of days, right? Like what have we been talking about in regards to Snyder in the last couple of days?
Like what
did I say the other day? He needs to stop, and he needs to start posting Rebel Moon and everything else.
He's watching you. He's watching you, Jarvo.
Well, apparently, if I'm as popular or hated on that front, I guess maybe my words are going to get around. But no, in reality, though, it's like, look, he posted all of that stuff from Vero the other day, and over the course of the past couple of days, and a lot of people have been trying to run with it and just really turn it into something that I don't believe that it is. And again, like just kind of bringing up his Vero page here, we can see that he posted. He's been busy since Christmas. It's like 1 Batman post, 2 Batman posts, 3 Batman posts, but this is also just a shared post by Clay Enos, who was the official photographer for the movie. Got this great shot, which I think is awesome because I remember this image of Batman. That was pretty great.
Yeah, it was a great image, and I'm glad we got to see more.
It's funny how it's funny how it's shot on an iPhone too.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah. I mean, the iPhone's got really good cameras, to be honest with you. So I think that should be like, and then of course you get this post here for the Deer Valley Resort, and a lot of people are just freaking out over that. Yeah. I think this one here,
he's skiing.
He's skiing.
How many chairs are there?
Are there? Yeah, how many chairs are up there? Is there 7?
Is he doing the Silver Surfer movie?
I don't know. Let's see. I have to kind of look here. All right. Again, the top one. Have you had talks to continue your JL movies? Of course, it's going to pop up. The Hope and Discovery. With the Flash movie coming out, might we have something after your universe, or is it gone? Right. So because it's asking all these questions.
It's comments are probably
yeah. Okay. So there is a he did respond to one of these comments. I think I got to find it. Well, I've got it right here. So this is a comment that someone had asked on that question. This is a very important question. Is it time to lose hope? And Zack said never. And so this is obviously done what we all knew it was going to do. And
kick things back up in a high gear.
Yep. And I've already seen it on Twitter, and I've already seen it everywhere else.
Which is fine. People are allowed to speculate. Speculation's fun. Excited. And hype like this is great. And I'm glad Zack interacts with his fans as much as he does. Absolutely.
Yeah. But I have another take on this, by the way.
Well, of course, you're the Snyder hater, Matt.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
I know. I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah, sure. All right, fine, whatever. But let it's the way you said that, you dick. I love you, RJ. You know that. But so anyway, what time of year is it? The holidays. What generally tends to increase during the holidays? Suicide. Right. So Zack's big thing is anti-suicide, suicide prevention, all that stuff, which is fantastic. And when someone says, "Is this the time to lose hope?" the obvious thing they're asking is about the Snyder Cut, the Snyderverse, and everything else, obviously. But him saying never it could potentially go either way. It could be about the Snyderverse, or it could be about don't lose hope in your life, because once you lose hope in your life, that is where you start going down a really kind of dark pathway. And now I'm more, and I'm telling you this as a parent, as a person who I believe is relative. Look, you may not think this about me. I'm actually a really empathic kind of guy. I do believe that he is more referring to the anti-suicide than he is anything else, because he doesn't want, he never wants his audience to feel bad. All right. He never wants his audience to feel.
Also too, just, and this isn't the fault of AQ, but I know some people on Twitter actually say, man, if only you could have worded that sentence a little better, because it's going to get misconstrued to be about one thing when he's probably just talking about the Snyderverse or whatever. But it's like, Zack obviously is a very empathetic person who's done a lot for suicide prevention. It could mean a multitude of things. Obviously, we don't know what he was thinking in his head when he wrote that reply, what he interpreted this question as. So
I mean, look, a smart man, and Zack is a smart man. A smart man understands. Everyone else in that comment section is all like, yo, is this about like is this you sledding downhill to sign a celebration deal, right? Like whatever. And he knows that they're probably asking him, but I think at the same time he doesn't want to tell people, because he said, I'll never tell a paying customer no. And so he'll always keep that door open to go back, even though a lot of us believe that it would be very negatively, it would negatively impact his mental health to do so. Same with Ben, same with Ray. I think they would fight through it to the best of their ability. But at the end, the studio, it's like gambling. The house always wins, and the studio's the house, because they're the ones that control the money, and they're the ones that control everything else. And the studio is clearly, again, in another regime change, and that never really means that they're going to be lighten, open the checkbook is what I'm trying to say. They're gonna reaffirm, reevaluate, put things back together, and then see where they stand.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, what do we got? We have someone coming over here from like Sill's channel. Clown Garbo is insecure. Was here. Hack Garbo. Yeah, it's pretty funny, dude. I don't know. Like, here's the thing, man. If you want someone to tell you like what you want to hear, then there are a litany of other channels where you can go to have somebody spoon feed you, you know what, sugar, and just make it, you know, a spoonful of sugar helps medicine go down, I guess, right? Yeah. Like they're gonna help you feel better about the fact that, you know, you can't move on past this, and they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. If I believed it was gonna happen, I would talk about that. And I, you know, and I think doing more things like showcasing the Rebel Moon, you know, stuff here, or saying this is his actual post, Rebel Moon concept art. We are in full swing, heading towards principal photography in a few months. This should be what Zack Snyder fans are pushing for right now.
Yeah,
I'm
so hyped for this.
I really want to see what they're going to do with it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. That's the whole point.
I want more casting announcements for this as well.
I know.
Yes, I'd like more casting as well.
So that's what I think is going on with that. Is if there was stuff that was moving, I would tell you. And as much as I like Mikey Sutton, and I know what Mikey Sutton says, Mikey also knows that I disagree on this end, very fervently. And you know what? And Mikey has come on this show, and he has said that, you know what I like about you, Matt, is you don't just believe everything, and you want to do the digging, and you want to do the research. So that is what I've come to. And again, if it happens, I have multiple times said I will eat crow, and I will totally get like digital tomatoes thrown at my face. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that would be a day. That will be a day, you know? But, you know, hey, listen, I'll stand by my convictions about being wrong. That's kind of what it is. So that's where I see it. Now, Nerdy Mastermind here says, why do Zack fans think David's first day on the job is going to be making more Zack JL movies? His focus should be on getting HBO Max to the #1 player in the streaming wars. Well, the thing with that is, though, a lot of people, like I believe even our friend Mad Max Mandalorian, who might come in tonight, I have no idea. You know, he believes that in the streaming wars, like DC is what's going to compete with Marvel. And because Marvel has dominated Disney this year and has done very good.
Well, he said that, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he has kind of said stuff to the effect of DC needs some kind of big event to compete with Marvel. So obviously the big event they had set up originally was Darkseid. So it makes sense to bring in Darkseid again to try and, compete with Marvel on an event as similar to Infinity War and Endgame, which I understand that line of thinking, to be fair. So.
No, I get that. But, you know, again, they're pulling from the Justice League is what they're going to be pulling from. And there was no Darkseid in that. So it's, you know, it's possible that that's one of the...
We had a debate too over there about, Walter Hamada, just to confirm this, Matt, Walter Hamada and the folks at DC did say that Justice League is what they consider to be canon, correct?
Yes.
Okay, just to make sure, because that was a big sticking point, apparently, that people did not believe that.
Well, and but then they think that, oh, that was, you know, what is it? That was before the merger and before the Snyder cut. And no, I mean, it's like, here, did you guys notice though at Fandom 2.0, you know what was missing? Snyder cut.
Yeah, they didn't talk about it whatsoever. For the most part.
Nothing. No, nothing on that one. They had a whole bit dedicated to Patty Jenkins talking with Linda Carter. You know, I mean, that was a part of it. That was whatever with it. But no, they simply did not have anything on there representing what they want to do with. I mean, even Superman didn't get any kind of play there, really. And I mean, outside of Superman and Lois, but. That's kind of the whole point, though, is like they're going to shift, I think, their theatrical side away from this for a while. Now, RJ and I will disagree about the efficacy of the box office in regards to Black Adam, as I want to transition into talking about that article
Rock.
with The Rock. But also, Halogen Helix is going to be joining us in a second. And let's see here. Okay. Oh my God, Nerderotic is talking shit about Boba Fett. Obviously. So, yeah, but I feel like with Black Adam on the horizon, I think JSA is going to be what they're focusing on. I think they're going to build up JSA, and that's going to be the big team up, I think.
Yeah, no, I've been saying it's my personal belief, and I had to clarify that because people are like, you don't know, and it's like, you're right, I don't know. My personal belief is that I believe that after the Flash, they're going to set up a new Justice League movie. Like that could be a post-credit scene in that movie where the Flash and Michael Keaton team up to try and form their own team to try and do a Justice League reboot. So,
yeah, that would be something fascinating. Hey, what's going on, Paul? How you doing, man?
What's up,
Hey, man.
Paul?
Good.
So yeah, we're talking about Black Adam. Do you think it's going to be a profitable movie?
I think The Rock draws a certain amount of people, no matter what he's in. He does like to jump from franchise to franchise. I think.
Yeah.
I think if people go in thinking this is going to be like another Shazam, then it won't be profitable. But I think if people give this a chance to be its own thing, then I think it. I don't know if it's a 4-quadrant movie either. I think it's going to be dark. And a lot of Mike on my channel, he thinks they're going to go the anti-hero route and not make him a full villain. And that's also, I don't like that. I want him to be like a villain because otherwise then we don't get him meeting Shazam as a villain. He's an anti-hero in his own film. Profitability wise, I don't know. It's a mixed bag with DC, man. Like you get like Aquaman 2, which made, everyone was like, that's a joke. That's not going to make him in. And then it's like its highest grossing for DCEU. And then you get like the Suicide Squad comes out and that makes a bunch of money. But then you get Wonder Woman 1984, which is a dumpster fire. Like it's a mixed bag.
it's because
don't know.
Well, that's the thing. It's also depending on the international audience because you mentioned Aquaman. Aquaman did okay domestically, but it opened against like 5 other movies. The reason that movie made $1 billion because the overseas audiences loved that movie.
Loved it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I did too. I went to the early screening that they put out, the one that they did through Amazon.
Yeah,
and,
I saw Aquaman for Christmas, and it was a great movie. Actually, I love Aquaman.
Yeah, I walked out going like,
that
this is an
movie's
action
great.
adventure movie.
Yeah, for real. No, because I watched it by myself at the cinema, and I think it was like earlier this year. I watched it with my dad and he'd seen it already, but he just put on the Blu-ray of it, and it was a second time viewing. I'm like, this actually is a really good film. I forgot how good it was. Like, it's a solid action adventure movie that just goes through the adventure beats. You're finding something to get to the next thing, and it didn't feel like The Rise of Skywalker, like it was like a MacGuffin to get to the MacGuffin that didn't really matter at the end. Like, It was like it actually mattered. Everything that they did progressed the story. It was cool. I liked it. So,
I did. I was surprised because I thought, man, I loved Yaha as Black Manta, and I loved Momoa, and I mean the whole cast was great.
For me, it was Patrick Wilson as Ocean Master. I thought he was.
He was great. He was a good villain on that one too.
The end when he's in the full suit and he does his whole thing. I am the Ocean Master. That was like it was just the right amount of cheese, but also like coolness to make it like work because it could have gone either way for me. Like he in that, he looked ridiculous, but it was like, it worked because the whole movie was framed that way. But yeah, he was good. Every actor really hit. I'm not really a big fan of Amber Heard though, to be honest. But yeah.
Hey everyone.
Hey, what's up, Max?
I'm here for a nice chill stream.
We're gonna try and have that hopefully.
Well, we're just now talking about. Yeah, it happens to me all the time, dude. I stream for like 2 to 3 hours a night. My throat's always gone.
Yeah. Like, but all that yelling, I had to like take a swig of whiskey to like clear my throat after
Well,
yelling at Max.
I blame RJ. He said, check your Twitter DM. And I was like, I knew Paul was going to bring it. I was like, oh God. Paul, am I up for Paul tonight? He's gonna bring a lot of stuff. So I'm here to. I saw Vin Diesel and The Rock are on the thumbnail.
No, only The Rock is on the thumbnail, and we already went through.
Sorry,
we haven't done the Book of Boba Fett talk yet. That's going to be at the end.
Ooh.
And then now we're going to get into the Rock stuff. But we covered my very stupid attempt to find very adult humor in Encanto, and I think I did.
What?
I still need to watch that movie.
It's a great movie.
In Encanto?
Yeah. There's a scene where like the uncle is like showcasing a homemade telenovela that he watches with rats, and he goes, oh, but he's like this story is like, oh, she's his aunt, but she doesn't know that she's his aunt because she has amnesia. Their love is forbidden. It's taboo. And then I'm all like, dude, that's a plot line ripped straight out of Pornhub. you know, and
Right.
so that was
Oh
that was
my
my
God.
joke
What?
with that. Yeah. Have you, dude?
No.
Do you not? I mean,
Don't
Max,
say
come on. Do you
no.
not? Do you not? Have you not been on the front page of Pornhub?
No.
Paul's like,
Paul's like, he
Don't
knows
say
what I'm
no.
talking about. Paul knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there seems to be in the last few years a bit of an obsession with a particular genre of pornography. So that's what made its return.
Yeah, what are you doing there, Step Bro?
Whoa, Jimbo.
It's really weird. Yeah,
It's very odd. It's very odd.
It's the taboo, man. I think it's about the taboo. That's what. It's
Well, that's what
Is
caught
it
my
from,
attention
from
though.
Game of Thrones or something that started, or
Maybe.
Might have like
brought it into
kickstarted
pop
some
culture
stuff for
scene,
some
maybe.
people. I don't know though.
because the Jamie
Yeah,
and what's her name, Cersei?
Yeah, Cersei
Yeah,
Lannister.
Cersei.
And
Well,
then
they're not the
Cersei
only
and her
ones.
cousin.
Yeah.
not the only ones.
Real life is not Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
Except in
I guess
Alabama.
that's-
Except in Alabama. That it
except
is.
in Utah. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh no.
Dragons are
Wow.
real. Dragons are real time.
Wow.
That's right. That's right. An Australian called out of state. That's right.
All right, there. Yeah, in an obscure state too. I mean, all
Yes.
things considered.
I've heard many things about Utah.
Although, well, I mean, I would be under the impression that Australia and Utah have one thing in common: everything that's not you is either trying to convert you or kill you. So that's kind of how I view it.
Yeah.
Oh
maybe.
no, a
Depends
giant
on where you are.
spider.
Yeah, well, those giant spiders you see are just huntsmen. They're not gonna. They don't have venom. They'll bite you and jump on you, but they
They're
don't.
big
they
as
just,
hell
they,
though.
They just bite you.
big.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't
They just
know.
bite you.
out
They
for-
just bite you.
Hang on. The ones you have to watch out for the tiny ones, man, because we've got the
Oh.
redbacks, which will kill
Oh,
a child or a small
yeah.
animal.
Oh,
and make an adult
stop,
really
stop.
sick.
Yeah, the Black Widows.
No, we don't have black widows.
Oh.
They're American.
Yeah.
Harry
But,
Potter
um,
ruined
like
it for
Black
me.
Widows.
Harry Potter
Like-
ruined
they're really
spiders.
venomous. They're really venomous
Oh.
animals. Are the snakes?
I
and
just
the
imagine-
red
I
belly
just
black
imagine
snake and
how,
a
like,
taipan.
I just imagine if Daddy Longlegs were big, like if
They
they
do
had
have
bigger
snakes,
mouths,
that's
they
true.
would be like huge. And,
Yeah,
like,
they just don't
would-
have big enough fangs. They
Yeah,
have
Daddy
enough
long
poison
legs.
to kill
Yeah,
people.
they don't have. Yeah, they have
if
enough
had big
poison to
enough
kill
things,
you.
they would kill you. Like,
Yeah.
But ironically, people like accuse me of having a record. I don't like spiders, right? But I'll leave a daddy long legs alone because they kill cockroaches
Yeah,
and
they're
they
actually
also
helpful.
kill other spiders. They're very
Yeah,
helpful spiders.
they
daddy
are.
long legs.
Oh,
And they won't hurt you.
I
I have
live
an
in the.
aversion to being bitten. That's my aversion. Like, so I'll kill things that can bite me. Yeah.
I see. Darth Scipio here says the brown recluse is the king. I live in an area rife with brown recluses, and some of those little motherfuckers get big. I've seen some big ones out here too. But the thing is, I lived in San Diego, and we had a black widow problem there, like crazy. The easiest way to get rid of a black widow, seriously, is just move them away. Right? It's just scoop them up and like move them to the other side of the property.
Yeah.
Because if you smash them, it's like ants. If you smash an ant, you leave its pheromone trail right there, and the other ants can find it. If you smash a black widow, it does the exact same thing. So
Yeah,
you take
yeah.
a black widow and you just move it off property, and it's perfectly fine. But up here, yeah, we got a lot of the recluses, and I've noticed that like they hang out in the underhang of my house, and they eat other fucking spiders. You know, and I'm like, cool, you guys do your bit, stay outside. You know,
Do your
and
thing.
do your thing.
Yeah.
And I find them occasionally in the house, and I will scoop them up because there's the recluses, and then there's other kind of like wood spiders that are very similar looking. I scoop them up and I just take them outside. I don't kill them. I just like let them go. Whereas in San Diego, I'm like fucking murdering everything. You know, I don't want to die. We have bears here too, so that's the other problem. But anyway,
or another way to get rid of
yes.
Black Widow is go to Vormir.
what?
Go
What?
to Vormir. Go to Vormir.
Is that
But,
Lord
like,
of the Rings? reference?
Yeah,
It's
it is.
Endgame. It's
Oh,
Oh,
Endgame. Black Widow goes to
yeah.
Thor.
Oh my God.
It was
okay.
Dark Vormir.
See,
Come
all right.
on, Kane.
Goodbye,
That's a dad
goodbye.
joke
That
right
no.
there.
Wow.
You guys
hated
failed
that.
the nerd.
That is bad. That is terrible. When I
CW was the one that did it.
Oh yeah,
CW
you
was
got to
the one
watch.
that
The other thing I'll tell you, you have to watch out for the white-tailed spiders, which often love to like hang out in your sheets of your bed, like right. And what they have is their venom is different, so it affects people differently. It's really strange. Like one person went into a coma after being bitten by them, and then came out perfectly fine. Another person was bitten, and it was like acid had eaten their leg away. Like
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it was like
Okay, now
literally
I'm not
pouring.
sleeping.
It was like
Yeah.
hydrochloric acid being poured
I'll be
on their
like,
leg.
is someone
brutal.
playing video games right now?
Yep, someone is. I can hear.
Okay.
I can hear the controller.
Yeah.
You're not hearing things.
I don't think
Who's
so.
RJ!
playing
RJ,
games?
it's
No, it wasn't
RJ.
me. It wasn't me.
Hold up.
RJ.
RJ,
That's the thing.
why
Is
are you
like
playing Lego
because
Star
Music Man is like,
Wars?
I'm wondering what I'm hearing in the background. I'm like, I'm hearing a controller.
I just exposed RJ.
That is odd. That is odd.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's playing Lego Star Wars.
No,
I hate to pop in and leave, but I just wanted to give props. I'll thumbs up the video and have a good stream, everyone. Callie is driving me crazy right now, and I want to see what you're talking about. I'm tired. I'm getting tired after the beating I took.
Well, okay, Max. Well, let me ask you this, and let me ask you this, and to leave it on a good note. What do you think of the Rebel Moon concept art that came out?
Oh
today?
yeah, I like it. Me and Paul were talking about it. I did actually have other topics on my other stream. We got to this. I think it looks interesting. It does look like Mass Effect, and I'm not getting. It looks cool, but I want to see more Star Wars feel because everyone was saying. Well, at least the articles are coming out that it's in a vein of Star Wars 2, more fantasy sci-fi. So I hope there's something in that vein as well. Even if this is the direction they go to, it still looks cool. I'll still want to watch it. But I'm happy with it. I want to see more. And if all we get from Zack is Easter eggs and glimpses of his new projects and nothing else, I will have to adjust my opinion of the future. I will adjust it based on context of what he's hinting at. And, I do think it is an interesting sign that he's going to start to tease his next projects like this. I hope he does more concept art of this next movie. That it's going to be filming in the next few months.
I would very much like. It's going to film in the fall, I believe, or something like that.
Okay.
They're in pre-production still, but yes, more Rebel Moon teases. That's what I'm here for. So
right, and if that's all we get from him, I will adjust my opinion of possibilities. That's all I'm saying. There.
Yeah, no, I definitely I think look, I'm telling you guys this. My theory is he was putting the Batman stuff to lead into this. To get people hyped up and looking at him and then like lead into the Rebel Moon. Okay. Because the Rebel Moon stuff actually was, I think, trending today in some places, whereas the other stuff not so much.
All right.
So
I'm happy. I'm happy to try. I'm really looking forward to the possibilities, what he could offer. I think he can do lots of projects at the same time too. And that's just looking at Netflix as well. He's doing Army of the Dead World along with this. He's some other directors may focus on one thing. He has one franchise already on Netflix, and he may start another one with Rebel Moon. So we'll see where it goes. I'm really looking forward to it. I want to see more. Obviously, I want to see more concept art to see, and I'm excited that that's going to be starting filming this year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to start filming, I think, March. So we'll get more as that goes into it. Definitely. But also, I just want to point out, Andrew Dunbar, I'm the one who timed you out for that. I felt that comment was far and above beyond what needed to be said. So just keep that in check, please, for the future, because I don't want that kind of chat. So thank you. Yeah. Anyway, all right, man. Well, yeah, if you got to bail, I want to.
Oh yeah, well, it's almost getting close to 2 for me, and I have to make sure I'm not late for work because there was a few times I was streaming late. I was late for work the next day. I got to get my rest. But I enjoy being on here short time. Oh, I do. Okay. I'll stay for the big intro to this because I want to hear your take on this.
Okay. So I have criticized The Rock for a lot of things for a while now.
Yeah, you're a Rock hater.
I'm not. Oh yeah. No, it's I feel like The Rock overplays his hand, quite frankly, all the time now. And I think a lot of people are starting to see through that. Because you can tell that he's not really about the art, he's about the business. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like money. He likes money. I wish I had his money. 100%. Oh, yeah. But this whole thing right here, I really am a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. And I feel like I don't want to say an ownership of it or whatever, but like I've been a fan since 2001. And Hobbs' character is very important, I think, to finishing up the storyline, to finishing up the main canon storyline of this. And the feud between Vin Diesel and Dwayne Johnson I thought was squashed. Yeah. But he flat out said today that he has rejected the request to rejoin the franchise in the upcoming 10th installment.
And this was live on CNN. they were interviewing him on CNN, so he said it like on the national news for everyone to see.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, and it was
Is
very
this
clear what he
manufactured for if he does come back? It'll be bigger box office, or do you think it's really real?
I don't know, but this is what he says here. He says, I told Diesel directly that I would not be returning to the franchise. I was firm yet cordial with my words, and I said that I would always be supportive of the cast and always root for the franchise to be successful, but there was no chance I would return. Vin's recent public post was an example of his manipulation. I didn't like that he brought up his children in the post as well as Paul Walker's death. Leave them out of it. We had spoken months ago about this and came to a clear understanding. Now, I do think that Vin Diesel was a bit manipulative in that particular comment, and I understand his whole point was to emphasize the family, right? Because I mean that's the meme of these movies, right? It's family, you know. So trying to play on that and use it as an example, and I can see it because it does put The Rock in a bad place. Honestly, it's like when you bring up Paul Walker and you bring up the kids, that's definitely going to put him in a bad position, which is not going to be good for getting someone like that to come back around. It's just not in my opinion. At least.
What the real news is that The Rock turned down any role because he's in everything.
Well, if there is enough money there.
So it is kind of like you're in everything, dude. You take all Vin Diesel's roles to begin with. Like any action star role that comes up is going to probably go The Rock first if he accepts it, honestly. And he, in that genre of movie. So yeah, it is kind of. I think it was dirty what Vin Diesel did there to bring up that stuff. It's kind of irrelevant. It's really his decision if he wants to come back or not. But it does seem like he kind of, he was there when he needed it, and he's kind of like dissing it now, and he pretty much is in everything. So I can understand what people are salty about it. He did it to do the spin-off Hobbs and Shaw. I don't think they're making a sequel to that. I don't know.
Well, a sequel I think is it's they made enough money. I thought that Hobbs and Shaw would pull in $1 billion.
Yeah.
Right. And that was when I realized that The Rock doesn't have what everyone tells me that he has.
So he did that too, but he didn't come back to the main franchise. He's like, he's okay to do a spinoff. It's kind of, it's kind of lame. You could kind of say something about that, I guess.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the way I view it, though. And I think this speaks largely to his character at this point, or maybe not his character, but his business acumen. And his business acumen is he's always chasing something. The Rock is always chasing something. And, and he's always trying to get it. And I think at this point, Black Adam is, and RJ and I were discussing this earlier, I think Black Adam is his last bet for something that is going to be truly his. And if it fails, and I believe it has the potential to fail, is that they won't do any more. And like, it's a one-off thing, because I do feel that the DC franchise as a whole is going to probably run out this batch of films, see where they are, and then if nothing is really holding on, they're just going to reboot everything.
What, you saying like reboot the DCU?
So basically what I said they should be doing from the beginning.
Well, they should already, like, I've already said this, they should, I mean, my hot take.
They should here it is. They should have trashed this Trash Point movie. It should never have existed. It should not exist. And they should just have run out the Zack Snyder's Justice League, done, finished, and then they should have just rebooted from there. That's what they should have done. Because they're banking on Aquaman 2 to make the same money as Aquaman did, right? But the thing is, it's like, where does that character go afterwards? Like, is that the end? Like, we're going to have a new Aquaman because they're going to have to do Justice League again. Like,
well, I was going to ask, I mean, Matt, what's your definition of like failure? Like, what is the expectation for this movie? Do you think?
Well, I don't know what the expectation of the movie is. All I can really go off of is what his box office numbers have been previously. And I think a big one, and I know it did well with Netflix, but still putting Red Notice in theaters for a week before the movie came out, and nobody went to go see it. And it's
and
like
that had Ryan Reynolds in it as
and
well,
Gal
Gal Gadot, man, like.
And it was a massive movie. It was a massive. Yeah. I didn't even go. I was going to go see it in theaters. Did you go see it in theaters? Did you watch it on Netflix?
Netflix.
Yeah,
right.
On Netflix.
And that's the whole point. Is like, it didn't do it. It was so low that Netflix didn't even report the numbers. They reported the numbers with Zack Snyder's Justice League, but they didn't. Or sorry, with Army of the Dead, but they didn't do that with this. And this was their big end of the year movie outside of Don't Look Up. And
Didn't they
even
say it was their #1 movie though, or something?
well, they made that comment, yeah. But it's like, I keep hearing this though from a number of different places. It was big last month. And I believe C. Robert Cargill, who wrote Doctor Strange and like Sinister, I think he like Sinister, one of the Sinisters, I think. He had said that the way Netflix framed it was that Red Notice had gotten about 1.4 billion hours watched, and which would all the hours that had watched would have equaled roughly about a $1.4 billion movie. Is in box office wise is what he's saying. And that was him trying to argue like the impact value, because we don't know what the impact value for Red Notice was with Netflix just yet. All I know is that the movie came out in theaters. Nobody went to go see it. The Rock promoting it on social media, Ryan promoting it on social media, it playing in Cinemark theaters and like 400 screens nationwide. So like, it's not like it's inaccessible, but it's still there. People just didn't go about it. Then when they put the movie out on fucking Netflix, The Rock was like, all right, let's do the 12 days of Red Notice leading into Christmas. And so I'm going to give out $50, Uber Eats gift cards and a whole cases of Zoa energy drink. And like, again, like it was just like, they're trying to promote this thing that I think had very little buzz going into it, because we know that Netflix has trouble promoting their content. People watch it because they put it on the main page and people will click on it off of that. But I just think the lack of a lasting conversation is something that was a big problem for them. And I think it ties into The Rock. I really do. I think people look at him as being a business guy and less of a movie star.
Well, shit, he's making like a Christmas movie for Amazon that's like based on Amazon warehouses or something weird,
Yeah, it's like it's called Red One.
Well, have a good stream, everyone. I'm heading out. I'll listen. I might hit the pillow.
All right, hit the pillow, buddy. I mean, that's kind of the whole point. Is like with The Rock, yeah, he'll jump around. He's doing, he's doing the Red One for Amazon. And did I ever tell you guys the movie that he optioned, the one viral image that he optioned about the teddy bear on the girl's bed, protecting her from a dragon? Like, that's such a cool concept. That could have been a movie. Like, whatever happened with that, And I feel like it's just original properties, they're getting harder to make these days. And I feel that The Rock kind of like just fucked it up a little bit. I don't know. Let's see here. Andrew here says, for $5, thanks, man. I think The Rock is trying to bank enough money to run the XFL. I wouldn't be surprised. Didn't he take over the XFL?
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's all business, man.
Him and $7 production game or like sports side of their company took over.
I'm going to change my original opinion about this movie. After thinking about what you've been saying, I don't think this movie is going to be successful. The main reason why, Adam? Yeah, I don't think it is. The main reason why is I think that The Rock's proven that he's not the star everyone thinks that he is. Like, every movie that he's going to be put in is going to be $1 billion. Like, there was a time when that happened because he picked well, right? He picked movies that made him like look good because he like used what he has, like his muscles, his tall, like all that sort of stuff. Jumanji is a good example of this. The dry humor sort of deal. Red Notice, it didn't work. I turned that movie halfway through that film.
There wasn't a villain in the movie. That was my biggest problem with it.
Yeah, what the hell was that movie? It was but like,
what about Super Pets though?
Oh,
I don't. I don't see this movie doing well. I think the Batman is going to make it be. I think the Batman is going to be like DC's No Way Home. To be honest, I don't think the Flash is going to make a lot of money either. To be honest, no one cares, man. I feel like no one cares. Am I wrong to think like I feel like generally just no one cares about DC movies, man. Everyone's just, oh, you've already seen this already, like the normies. And I feel like I'm turning into a normie because like until No Way Home, I was over comic book franchises, man. Like, and then that reinvigorated me. But when I think about DC, I'm like, oh, the Batman, that's what I have to look forward to. But then I think about Trash Point, and it's like I don't want a Flashpoint movie without the Reverse Flash. Like, why are they doing this?
I mean,
Like-
it's tough to gauge because we really haven't seen much from the Flash except for that one teaser, which kind of was like whatever. I mean,
What? That's what I want to
Um,
ask you, Matt. What stock do you put, Matt, in that article that came out, and they said it was a confirmed source with inside the movie, whatever that means, that the villain was going to be another version of Barry Allen.
I hated I love the idea of Reverse Flash because I do like Reverse Flash, but here's the thing though, thematically it makes sense because in most of these movies, like they introduce the villain, like and I'll fully admit I was wrong about Doctor Strange being the villain in Spider-Man No Way Home because I thought it was going to be like him as Nightmare or Mephisto, whatever.
A lot
Yeah,
of people
yeah,
thought
yeah.
that.
Well,
too,
the
including
marketing led us to believe that. I
Which is
stand by
good.
that.
It's good. That's good marketing.
perfect.
Because it means
Perfect.
that when we go see it in cinema, we're surprised. It's good.
well,
Yeah.
actually, the people involved in the movie said that originally what they wanted to do before the villains leaked, like Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx, they said that one of the original ideas was to pitch the movie and market it as if it was like Civil War, where it's Doctor Strange versus Spider-Man. So that's the marketing push they wanted to do. So I feel like, with the first trailer, they kind of pushed that a little bit, like a little hint of it.
Yeah.
Just like try and like goad off the whole thing, you know?
Have you noticed that in that little little preview we got, they changed the Flash's lightning as well?
No, but I wasn't really paying that close of attention because I wanted to see
it's not
Keaton.
blue anymore.
I
It's not blue anymore.
I don't like. Here's the thing. I don't like. I do not like Ezra Miller very much, and
Same.
I liked him in the Snyder Cut, but he was annoying in Justice League, and he's annoying as fuck in real life. I feel like it's just he's the kind of guy that you go to a party and he's like he peacocks. He wants everyone to look at him.
Yeah, look at him. Yeah. Did you notice that when they did the DC fandom thing and he turns up and it looked like he just come from a rave or something? Like, like he had the choker on and he looked like he was half dressed.
Well, he had a choker on.
It was so weird. I was
Oh my God.
He looked like he was high out of his mind. He looked like he was high.
Oh,
yeah, he did look like he was high.
Yeah.
Like, dude, did you just get out of bed? Like, do you have no professionalism or what's going on? Like,
he's like, hi.
Why would I
welcome
be
to
hyped
this
about your movie? He's like,
thing."
oh, we don't have anything to show you except for this, and I look like I am like that. I just came off the street. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
Oh God.
What they need, I'll tell you, all they have to do to make the Flash movie to get everyone hyped up for it is to have a preview where Michael Keaton takes a fire and he breaks a vase. Let's get nuts, and he just pulls that energy again. And if he does that, everyone will lose their because nostalgia fucking.
No,
But I'll tell you
what they do. I forget the actor's name, but whoever plays in The Boys, whoever plays what's his Homelander, if they did a preview and he turned up as Reverse Flash, that would hype me for this film.
That's solid.
Anthony Starr in anything would get me hyped up.
His Reverse Flash though, Javo, like they keep
Oh.
showing in this preview. They show him going
I have
back
a
to his
feeling
mom, right?
Yeah.
People are like, it's not a Flashpoint movie. I'm like, they literally show him going back to his mother. Like, how is this not a Flashpoint movie without the Reverse Flash? And you can't do Flash without the Reverse Flash. They are linked together in time. That's their story. There's no Reverse Flash without the Flash, and there's no Flash without the Reverse Flash. Like, they're time loops together. That's
why it's going to be the other Barry. That's why it's going to be the other Barry.
And that's I don't like that. And it's so bad. And like, for this to be the first single Flash movie, to make it a Flashpoint movie, we all know. Like, there's a theory that they're going to make it the reset of the DC universe. That's what they're going to try and do. But didn't they already do that in the CW verse? They combined all the universes together.
Yes,
like,
they did.
They did in the Crisis. So what is this movie then? Is it just for kicks or what? Like, what's the point of this film?
That's another thing. Like, is it like the whole Crisis thing? Is like, what effects does that have on the DCEU? Like, you said, like, you had that whole connection scene between both Flashes, but we don't see the remnants of. Like, that's the whole connection thing, like, that you thought was going to happen with this Crisis event. It's like, it's going to connect the both TV world and the movie world some way, shape, or form. Like, have those events affect this, and like, we don't see it so far. So I'm like, I don't care about the TV event anymore because you clearly don't care either. So,
well, here, I'll show you guys this. If they were to bring Anthony Starr in as the Reverse Flash, it would play out kind of like this.
Remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me, Barry. I jerked you off at super speed so it seemed like you nutted at just a woman's touch.
I've seen this.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Truly evil.
I've seen
Truly
that.
evil.
You know what's really funny about that though?
evil.
You know what's really funny about that? That's actually something the Reverse Flash would probably do, because there's like a montage where he just goes to like every single big moment in Barry's life, just like make him trip down the stairs or make him like
Be an asshole.
mess up his first kiss. Like he just does the weirdest shit
He's
to him.
just an asshole.
Because he's that petty. Yeah, that's what I love about Reverse Flash. He's just a dick.
He's an
he
asshole.
wants to ruin Barry's life.
He's the ultimate villain. He's great.
That was fresh memes from Twitter today, by the way.
Hey,
That
guys,
worked-
don't
that
you
worked.
remember the whole Jessica Chastain as Eobard Thawne? You guys remember that whole rumor? Where
Wasn't that Grace Randolph?
Yes.
That was a rumor?
Yes.
Oh my god.
She's like, my worst enemy is in this movie, and she plays the villain. I'm like, oh my god.
That was
Oh.
that. That was really funny.
What? It's like she's in every Angie Muschietti movie, but then like I'm just like, but this is an exception because I think she was filming that
I had a striker.
I think his brother's playing Fortnite or something. I don't know. It's I get it, man. I
It's
get
the
it.
Reverse Flash.
Yeah, TW here says Grace, is Max gonna come back? Probably. He'll be like, don't talk about my Grace.
It's like Bloody Mary, and like with some people it's
You know what?
Grace.
I got
Grace,
blockchained by her, and I never spoke to her ever or commented about her or anything. I just got blockchained the entire.
It was
That's
probably
so
because at the time you were following Popcorn Planet or Andy or something like that.
Right.
No,
'Cause-
actually, I'll just say this. Do you guys know that Grace Randolph has a burner account?
Yeah, called like Race Gandalf or something like.
Yeah, it's an account where that's
real?
just dedicated just to defending Grace Randolph from people on
Oh my
Twitter.
God.
And
Oh my
people-
god.
I believe people confirmed it's actually Grace who owns that account.
I would say
Oh,
a
yeah,
lot of people have a burner
accidentally-
account.
She accidentally slipped up and said, "Yeah, I don't like people who attack me," and then she like deleted it, and then like it's like I don't like people who attack my friend.
Bro, I was
Grace.
trying to pick out.
Wait. All I heard is like she got a big ass. Talking about Grace. I mean, like I don't know. Don't tell that to Max. He might get a little bit too
Get
happy
simple.
on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I don't even know what we were talking about anymore. Oh yeah, right. The Flash movie
Flash.
or Trash Point, whatever you want. And that's actually a really funny
Trash
name
Point.
for it.
Yeah.
I feel like, look, I think Black Adam might pull in, like, you know, if the movie is received well, because they're going to market it as being from the director of Jungle Cruise, and I'm sorry, Jungle Cruise wasn't that good of a movie, but it did 100
It was
million.
okay. It was fun.
It was fun, but they don't need to turn that into a franchise.
It's Disney. They want.
No, I know. But it's like you're going, oh, where are we going to go now? Jungle Cruise, out of the Amazon? Like, are they going to go to the Nile?
Well, it's what I told you though. Even if this movie doesn't do great at the domestic box office, what's going to save that movie and really push it over the edge to be a huge box office earner is the international market. This movie is so well constructed from a business point of view. You have a very diverse cast of people from a lot of different backgrounds. It's an ensemble movie. It's not just The Rock by himself. You have the JSA, and they're going to be in the movie a lot to help carry that weight. Plus, if the action sequences are compelling enough, I feel like they're going to actually push the marketing campaign pretty big for this movie. I think it will be a hit internationally, especially. So.
Well, I mean, look, I Gerald here says once the Flash bombs, Zaslav will get Ben and Zack back. To be honest with you, like, as much as I don't think that's going to happen, I could see someone at Warner going, can we get them back? Like, I could see that being a big point of thing right there. But let me bring up this image here. So this is their release slate for 2022. And I just want to let you guys know why I think the Flash is going to have or why I think Black Adam is going to have a tough time. So the Batman opens March 4th, which is traditionally a very, very good weekend for movies. The first weekend of March is very good, especially for darker Warner Brothers films. 300. You had, I want to say like, a couple other movies have come around that same time that have been like a little on the darker side and done quite well. The Alice in Wonderland movies came out around that same time. There was my brain's fried for all that shit, but there's March 4th is a good weekend because it kind of kicks off the spring. And then you get the DC League of Super Pets, which is opening right around Memorial Day. Memorial Day weekend has been bad for a long time.
It's been hit or miss. I mean, Aladdin did pretty good in that.
Well,
spot,
Aladdin was the only
Solo.
thing since 2014 that had done well on Memorial Day weekend. That's how bad things were for Memorial Day for quite some time. And again, like it's May 20th. That's a decent time. Kids aren't out of school yet. So I think that's one of the biggest problems with that one. It's like they should release that probably at the end of June, like just because that's when most kids are going to be out of school, which is going to be a lot of the repeat viewing. I think DC League of Super Pets is probably going to do pretty well, although it's going to be an abysmal, god-awful abortion of a film. And I say that because it's just The Rock and Kevin Hart. And like, who fucking cares?
I don't know. There might be some test audiences that really liked it, Jarbo. You never know.
I don't know. They also put out Teen Titans Go to the fucking movies. All right. Like I have no faith.
That movie wasn't that bad. It was all right.
Yeah. You're the target demographic though, RJ.
No, hold on. Don't you dare. I hate Teen Titans Go. I think that cartoon sucks. The movie is about the best version of that cartoon you could get. I actually thought there was some really funny stuff in that movie.
Have you watched the television show by any chance?
Oh, which one? The original?
No, the current one.
No, it's horrible. It's horrible.
It's dumpster fire of everything.
So just to kind of wrap this part up, right? Just because this is the thing. Black Adam, July 29th. July 29th is not as good of a weekend as you might think. So generally when you make, because I've worked for, movie theaters a long time. July 29th is like the end of summer, like that, the first week of August, like the end of summer. And usually at that point, what you have are a lot of throwaway films that lead into like the last week of July, first week of August. And you might get lucky or not. I mean, like, Guardians came out the first week of August in 2014. That did predominantly well.
The Suicide Squad came out the first week of August in 2016.
That's true, but it also had BVS to lead into it. Never mind a good trailer. If Black Adam has a good trailer like Suicide Squad, you're gonna see some shit there. I think you'll see some people go see it. But at the same time, again, the BVS coming out right before Suicide Squad and the Ultimate Edition having dropped on home video and having been very well received and selling like hotcakes during the lead up to Suicide Squad, I think very much helped. Black Adam has the only thing coming before it theatrical wise that's a movie is the Batman, an entirely different universe. So there's no connection.
Could it be argued though that if that movie's a success and it generates goodwill with the DC brand and you have some kick-ass trailers for Black Adam, there could be even just a smidge of crossover because people will be like, oh, DC movie, maybe this will be good too.
Well, it's entirely possible that will help out in the opening weekend, which is probably going to end up being like most of what they want. But again, if people go in there thinking like, oh, I'm going to see Batman and just DC and it's oh my God. And then there's no Batman in it and whatever else they're going to do, they might end up going, well, this is not what you think it is. And it's just, now it's confusing the audience. This is going to be what we see, whether or not shit gets confusing. And that's what I've been talking about with this multiverse shit. People are accustomed to Marvel, absolutely accustomed to Marvel by having interconnected storylines that are now on TV and are on movies. And by not doing that, by having multiple universes running at once, that is going to confuse the audience. And the average person who lives in like Oklahoma or something may not know the difference, may watch the Batman and think this is the best thing ever, and then go and watch Black Adam and go, yeah, whatever, or vice versa. I don't know, but it's going to confuse the audience because there's no cohesiveness to the universe.
Well, let me just.
I was about to say the only thing that would link the Black Adam was that at the end they did like a end credit scene and they showed Shazam, and that would link those two.
Well, I was gonna push back just a little bit though, because Jarbo, that there's been rumors for a little bit that Black Adam will have a major connection to the Suicide Squad, James Gunn's film, and to Peacemaker. Also, there are the persistent rumors. I don't believe this is true that Henry Cavill could appear in this movie. If either of those things are true, though, that is.
Can I just say one thing? Can I just say one thing on that? Like, as much as I'm not a big fan Snyder thing, if Henry Cavill turned up as Superman to fight with Shazam against Black Adam in the Shazam movie at the end, I will cream in my pants. Like that's how much I want to see that. Okay, right?
No, you're right.
And
You're
Henry
right.
Cavill
I
was a
agree.
good Superman. I like Man of Steel. I like that movie. A lot of people criticize the movie. I actually really like that movie. But like, and he's a good Superman. But yeah, if that happens, like, I don't know, they have to pay him more money than God to come back. I think.
I'll tell you this though. I hate that I agree with Gareth on this one because I usually like to give him shit. But I agree. Dump the multiverse. Bring back if that was like the way you could do it, by all means. But Warner's they hate planning. But here's the thing: at the end of Black Adam, at the end of Black Adam, if there is a Henry Cavill tease, that would be cool. I've heard that rumor as well. I don't know how much of it I believe.
We're not even just that. I mean, if there's Suicide Squad connections, and that shows that they're willing to embrace interconnectivity with that Black Adam movie and going forward, right?
Well, yeah. But what I'm talking about though, and you and I have discussed this, RJ, and I'm in agreement with you that by working into the interconnectivity, it's the best thing for the franchise. And playing into it finally shows that they're getting a little bit of their shit together. What I'm talking about though is the Batman, which looks fucking phenomenal. And that if that comes out and that fucking strikes hard, and I think it will, that is going to change the direction of everything because they're going to follow the fucking money.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is going to pivot. They'll pivot.
They'll pivot again.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden you're going to find out that like the Joker is going to be a prequel to the Batman. Which I still think they should do.
They should do that for sure because Joaquin Phoenix deserves another run at that character. But like, what I was going to say was like the thing with the Batman is like what they've done is essentially if you look at their lineup, they've thrown a bunch of stuff at the wall, right? Blue Beetle, all these things, right? What they're going to do is they're going to see what the audience watches. It's like literally a community test. They're doing a community a listing to basically see what people like and what people don't like, and then they're going to just raise those up out of the dust and make more of those things. That's literally what it looks like Warner Brothers is doing to me because they don't really have a plan. There's no interconnectivity between their universes at the moment, except for Black Adam and Shazam. It's like they're doing year 2 Batman. They're doing all these different things, different projects to see if it works. What I think they actually should do, Matt, is they should do the year 2 Batman and they should continue with him as Batman if it does hit, and then they should do Superman and they should restart. They should just start again. Like start from Batman and go from there. Like Gal Gadot, I don't think Wonder Woman 3 is going to happen, to be honest. I think Wonder Woman 84 was enough for Warner Brothers to go, no. Like, I think that was enough. I think
that they're going to.
I have a prediction.
I'm talking about how drastic they pivot, though. See, because they pivot so hard, like away from things. If no one likes it, I just feel like Patty and Gal are done.
I have a bold prediction. I believe Wonder Woman is going to get the Thor treatment. Let me explain. A lot of parallels when you think about it, right? First Wonder Woman movie, much like the first Thor movie, pretty well liked. Spottiness in some aspects, like the third act in Wonder Woman, for example. Sequel comes out, it's universally panned. Everyone in the studio's like, there's like some issues with this character. I think they're going to stick Wonder Woman in another movie, a team-up movie, with it's rumored to be Shazam 2.
No. Well, okay, sorry, go ahead.
And then the third movie, I think the third movie, they're going to reinvent the character to kind of soft relaunch her, kind of like they did with Thor after Thor: The Dark World.
But who is going to be? But who is the rumored team up in Wonder Woman 3? Aquaman. That came out last week.
Yeah, much like Thor Ragnarok, where they teamed up.
The Hulk and the Hulk, yeah.
Yep.
And I think Momoa would be. I think that would be a very interesting take on things to have, because it would be like kind of like Fire and Ice to an extent. You know, Momoa would be very impulsive and Diana wouldn't be. And that would be, you know, that might cause some conflict, but ultimately they have to team up and defeat whoever the hell it is they're going to defeat. And that could be fun. But I don't
see how that feeds your narrative, though, Matt. Like that, basically, the Warner Brothers don't know what they're doing. They've got two universes going at once. And they haven't even, dude. We haven't had like a basic universe yet in DC. Like we jumped straight into second movie, Superman's and he dies. Like we haven't had a basic setup of any of these characters yet for the modern time. And so to do this, they're like continuing. So if they continue, they're gonna have Wonder Woman and Aquaman from Zack Snyder's, like basically the Zack Snyder's Justice League in there, and then we're gonna have this new direction with Batman Year 2, where he's younger and he's less experienced. He has a lot of rage, of like what we can see in the clips. You see how they're kind of trying to have their cake and eat it too, and they need to just make a decision. Are they done with Zack or not? Like they just need to make a decision at the end of the day.
And I agree. I absolutely agree.
True.
Because normies are not going to get this nuance. Normies going to go and go, I thought I saw these guys in a movie a couple of years ago. And then they're going to go, I thought Ben Affleck was Batman. You see, that's what's going to happen. Normies aren't going to get this. My mom and dad, my mom and dad who go to see these movies randomly are going to be like, oh, like, wasn't Ben Affleck Batman? What happened with that? And they ask me these questions all the time when people pivot away, like, and stop doing projects.
All right, I just have to say, Andrew here for $2. But Wonder Woman and Aquamarine have to bang. I'd be okay with that. It'd be very interesting. Be very wet.
So yeah, I don't know. And I'm not the biggest fan of Ragnarok. There was too many serious moments made jokes of in that film. So I hope they don't go that way with Wonder Woman. I do like her serious. I prefer a serious tone. Man, one of the greatest scenes in movie history, in my opinion, and it's the first time I ever cried in cinema, actually, is when she came over that wall and she's blocking all the bullets. That was the greatest scene, like from her, and it like in her own movie, Wonder Woman 1. Like I don't know where that went in Wonder Woman 2. I don't understand why they pivoted away from like her emotional, like being emotional and being like what made her great in number 1. So I don't know. I don't want to be a jokey character. That's Aquaman's job. He does that enough. Aquaman.
Well, and I think Aquaman would just be the comedic relief, and she would be the straight one, and he would be the comedic relief, and then that would be that. And I think that's what they're going to probably want to go to do.
By Thor Ragnarok,
like a body cop
I'm not
movie?
trying to say
like a body cop movie.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say, I don't think they should copy Thor Ragnarok's tone completely, but what I'm trying to say is that the third movie needs to be a soft reinvention of the character, because whatever they did in Wonder Woman 84 did not work at all. So
but what they did in Justice League fucking slapped, dude. Like it slapped hard in Justice League.
Which Justice League?
Sorry, Snyder's.
You mean
no.
Wonder Woman?
In Zack Snyder's Justice League, like I thought like that opening scene with her kicking the shit out of those terrorists. I mean, like straight slaughtering those guys. I thought that was brilliant. And I mean, the fact that she like fucking beheaded Steppenwolf and then like kicked his head through the boom tube, and like was kind of like, bring it on, bitch.
She's not like fighting them with love like she is in 84.
She's
not getting love. I would just like
give
to
you
clarify.
up, and then I'll lasso a lightning bolt somehow magically remember how to fly.
I'm a lasso.
You know what? My boyfriend
I
who
just wanna
died
let
70
everyone
years
know.
ago, he told me that it was easy to fly, and that's how I learned how to fly. That's literally what happens in that scene. Just remember his words.
Hey, don't forget too, in Wonder Woman 84, the greatest villain of that movie was Wind and getting paper on her face.
Oof, the greatest villain of that movie was the Rider.
Yeah. Actually, all things considered, the greatest villain of that movie was Wonder Woman herself.
Yes.
Because we don't talk enough about the sexual assault and how that really impacts young men and boys.
Dude, she literally,
she literally did it. We talk about it a lot. People get mad when I bring it up when I call her a rapist. But no, it's like where are
you're wearing a different face, but you're mine. I'm gonna have sex with his body.
Well, here's the thing. She saw him as somebody different. Yeah. Everybody else saw the guy. Yeah. She only saw Steve Trevor. So that even makes it creepier.
People or something as pieces of meat. You know who else does see people? I won't say. Everyone can guess. No, I don't like that. But it was the MacGuffin machine, the wish machine, all that. There were so many problems with that film. There was no consequences at the end either. Like there was no consequences for anyone.
The whole movie was pointless.
It was a pointless
because everything got reversed.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. And somehow they didn't. The whole world that she talks to doesn't know that she's Wonder Woman in the future. Like, how does it's like they tried to soft reboot her in that movie because they tried to pivot away from Zack Snyder's BVS.
No, they did.
Because that happened after 1984.
Left humanity centuries ago, 100 years ago. But
Yeah.
84, she was right in the
84,
action.
She's right there talking to the whole world saying, give up
But-
your wishes.
Exactly.
But remember
This is
though,
some bullshit.
it's like she was also in the mall, like using her
Yes,
tiara to like
exactly.
boomerang.
Jarbo,
Yeah.
but Jarbo, hold on,
she
yeah,
smashed
check
the
out-
cameras. She smashed
I
the
know.
cameras, Jarbo.
Cameras.
But there's film. There's actual film. Did you?
Word of mouth, though.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing with John. It says no man would say no. He consented. See, that's bullshit. That's bullshit, John. Because
that's what they say about 12-year-olds and school teachers, and it's not true.
Yeah, I mean, there's that episode of
I
South
mean,
Park
people-
where Kyle
People fucking laugh about that. It's not true, man. It fucks.
It
boys
does.
up,
It does.
man.
But you know,
Yeah.
it's the whole toxic. It's the toxic masculinity angle of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Where
yeah.
because you know,
Women can't do
even
anything bad.
yeah, even E equals MCU says here that guy gave his consent because it was Wonder Woman / Gal Gadot. You don't know that.
Wow.
I mean, here's the thing. I have a partner I've been with for 13 years. We have 2 kids. If I woke up and I found out that I had slept with Gal Gadot, I'd be like, damn it. You know, but if I did, like, I'd still be pissed off because I didn't have any say in it. You know, you have body autonomy. Andrew here with it very, come on. He was begging to get graped. Jesus Christ, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
All right,
How do you
all
know?
right.
Because the way that he dressed at the end. Hang on, can I just say something? The way he dressed at the end, he kind of dressed not. He kind of. I got gay vibes from him at the end of that film. Like I was like, is he gay? Because that's even worse. Like, but like I got gay vibes from him at the end of the film. I was like, oh, he kind of, or he kind of is, not. He was like very much acting like a gay man, and I was like, okay, well, that's the way I want to go. But then she also raped a gay man then, and that's that's not good. So either way, he didn't ask for it. He didn't consent. Why did they do that? There's a wall that materializes out of nothing in that film. Why couldn't he just appear out of nowhere? Like, why couldn't it just materialize?
See, yeah, that's weird, right? The
Why
logic
did
doesn't work.
Why did they write that?
They should have just had him come back as a ghost, because they remember in that movie they're like, okay, the witches have to have a consequence, right? You get what you want, but not really. What would have been perfect is if they had him come back, but as a ghost, so she couldn't physically touch him. She couldn't kiss him or hug him or anything. He was just like there. She could talk to him, but that was it. That's kind of, I mean, I don't know. There's so many better ways it could have been executed.
Oh, no, Andrew, I know that it's a whitest kids you know joke, like the grapist. That's why I said that she's a grapist. Yeah. I'm a big whitest kids you know fan. I get you, man. No, I agree. I think the movie was a trash fire. I think anyone who defends that scene is like legitimately defends it. I think is very odd because the writing is inconsistent with the logic
in this entire film. Like, what scene is defendable? Do you know you actually can see when she falls down, when she catches those kids, when she rolls, you can see that it's a dummy. Do you know that, Matt?
Oh no, I've seen the clips. I've seen the clips. Yeah,
they didn't take it out. I'm like,
I'll say this.
What's the editor doing in the bay, man? Like,
I will defend one aspect of that movie though. I did enjoy the opening of it. With being on Themyscira with the games, I like that scene.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
It's because it felt like it was from the 2017 movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It did. Because they showed that on HBO Max. The opening 2 minutes of the movie, like the night before it came out, and I sat down and I watched it. And I was like, all right, yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. And then the next morning I watched it, and I'm all like, oh my god, this is fucking terrible.
The only reason that scene's in the movie is for the end scene where she.
It's kind of like
echoes her mother's words to the people of Earth.
Yeah. Well, have you've seen Bumblebee, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like Bumblebee was a shit movie. And the one, yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
It was a good movie.
It was no. You live in a make believe world with your love of Haley Steinfeld.
It had a good starting scene. It had a really good.
There we go. Paul's got it.
If the entire movie was the War of Cybertron, I would be like this.
Listen, the opening scene was great, but that's not why the movie was good.
It had John Cena being a fool in the entire movie. They're called Decepticons for a reason. I'm like, this is cheesy.
Yeah, it's just what. No, hold on.
Actually, a recent movie that's like this, that's inside Matrix Resurrections. It's like
I haven't seen it yet, so I haven't seen it yet.
Did the movie? Did the movie have cheesy dialogue? Yes.
Matt, do you care?
Yeah, I care. I do care because I want to watch it.
You'll know what I mean.
I know people have been bashing it. Like I know that, but it's like
scene where they're so inside baseball. You're like, this is jump the shark.
I've seen the clip online of like who like the parent company is. Like I saw that.
Oh
and
no!
I saw,
you
posted
saw where
that
they
as
like
well.
the parent company Warner Brothers. Is
yeah. I saw that. I
I'm
saw
like,
that
oh
part.
my
That's
God.
all I've seen. That's all I've seen.
It's so bad,
And I was
man.
like, I scratched my head at watching that, but I'm like, it doesn't deter me from wanting to watch it. I just haven't been able to find the 2.5 hours to do it. So that's kind of the problem. But I know I want to talk about it. I need to see it. But here's the thing. But
dialogue in movie was purposeful, and I will fight you all on it. I don't care. It's a good.
okay, fine. If you want to defend the cheesy dialogue, that's fine. But we can all agree that probably the best part of that movie was the opening 5 minutes.
Correct.
No, I will fight you on that too. It's a great opening, but the best part of that movie was the heart and the
Was
characters.
Haley Steinfeld?
What are you talking? That's not a part of the movie. That's not a scene in the movie.
No.
It's like
I
she
wanna see
needs
a
to
full
dive off a
war
cliff,
for
RJ.
Cybertron.
The War for
That
Cybertron
movie
was
had a
like
lot of heart.
Gen
That
1.
is a lot of
Gen
heart.
1
That
boss.
into the water.
Absolutely amazing. Sound waves sound amazing. Sound like the classic cartoon. It was awesome. It was like, oh my gosh, this is everything I wanted. I watched it literally just for that scene, pretty much. I'm not.
Well, and that was a late minute addition.
Movie are morons. They literally let them hack the internet. These alien robots, like they're stupid. The human beings are so stupid. They're not believable. The government just lets them
Well,
go.
that is
The
pretty
military,
like
dude,
literal
let's not
children.
talk about the government. Let's talk about the military. The military are distrustful of everyone. Allow them to hack their mainframe so they can contact more people from their planet. What is this? That movie was not good. Like,
Hence
and
World
yeah,
War.
John Cena literally hangs a lantern on and goes, "They're called Decepticons." I'm just like, oh my god, this movie.
Yeah, that's when Paramount
I
sent me.
don't care. I don't care. I'll fight you all on that. It's a great
All right,
Okay,
RJ. I okay.
do
We'll
that.
put it to the
Do
chat.
that.
There's 103 of you guys in here right now. Thank you very much for being here with us tonight. If you liked Bumblebee, press 1. If you didn't like Bumblebee, press 2. We'll put it to the chat. Also, be sure to slap a like on the video as we hit the 2 hour mark, because what I want to get into for the final bit of this. Oh, actually, hold on. There's one little meme. One little thing I forgot to bring up. This is a great meme about The Rock. It says here he chose a hierarchy of power in the DC universe over family. Perfect. He did. He really did.
It's true. It's true.
That was really funny. I thought that was great. I don't know why this guy blocked me. He didn't have me blocked like last week, but apparently people out there, they get angry. They get angry at me. And so I wanted to finish off the conversation. But Paul, have you seen the Book of Boba Fett yet?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to talk a bit about that, spoiler-wise a bit. Okay, hold on. TW wants to come on in. And so I sent him a link, so I want to let him know he wants to come on in for the combo, because we watched it on RJ's channel last night, and then we talked about it a little bit, and I rewatched it again today, and
it was a lot of fun watching it.
let me just say, spoilers. All right, we're going into spoiler territory here. Here is the warning of everything. Sorry, this is not.
You said that a little bit too late.
Yeah, I did a little bit here. But we all knew he got out. Now we know how he got out, and I thought that was great. But I just
was right. Pat Oswalt was right.
He was. And you know what? They probably. I saw a tweet from someone today saying like the writers of that show probably showcase that they've had the same debates that other fans have had of the character. You know, you can tell like a lot of people have debated over the years how Boba survived, what happened to him. And then in the last year, at least, with the rampant speculation about what happened to him, I think we got ourselves a grand opening. There's so many little things in there. I thought that was perfect. But let me ask you guys this real quick. Do you feel that this show is effectively Game of Thrones, but for Star Wars minus the incest?
What?
It's okay.
Not yet. For me, I would say this
No.
is the Sopranos of Star Wars. This feels like
Yes,
a crime
I'd say
show,
that's
not
more
not
accurate.
a.
I mean, kinda, but like Tony Soprano was already established when the show began. You know, what I'm talking about here is like the fall of Robert Baratheon, and then like everybody making a run to get to, King's Landing to sit on the Iron Throne. In this case, it's kind of like the what I'm talking about is like Boba and him coming on in to kind of establish dominance and like take over everything, and like him
palace ruler or something like that.
Yeah, but what I also
Crime
mean is
lord.
like it's kind of like he's trying to establish his dominance, and that's a big factor in the episode, which I was telling this to
But with
RJ earlier.
respect, okay? But
With respect. What I love is that he effectively got he's in over his head completely, and I love that. Like I fundamentally love that. Like he was so cocky in this episode that have bit him in the ass so many times.
Except for one thing, though, he didn't listen to Fennec, but he made the Gamorreans his loyal subjects. So,
that part was good.
And it worked out.
That part was really good. Although Andrew here says Boba Fett got out through retroactive plot armor. Not really. I mean, like,
can I ask you guys something real quick about this episode? A common criticism I'm seeing is that they're not making Boba Fett a badass. They're softening him up a bit too much, and that they're making him get his ass kicked all the time when he should be like really strong.
He's still weak.
Do you guys agree with that or no?
He's a damn clone, dude. He like literally grew normally. That's what he is. That's what they reminded of us at the start of this. He's also been in the desert, starving and flipping all the rest of it. Then he has to go to a Bacta tank because he's got treatment that he needs to get. Like, and it finished too early, so he'd go for the tour into town to get tribute. Those guys attacked him, and he still held off 5 of those guys. Right? Like, come on, he's not weak. He's like he was.
Well, I saw another. I think it was on who's channel. I don't remember whose channel this was. I think it might have been Max is getting interviewed by Zod Rider. I think someone in his chat said that he's getting led around by like a little girl. I'm like, you're talking about like the Sand person, like the Tusken Raider. It's like I don't see a problem with that.
They were using him as indentured servitude to go out there and dig up those little water gourds.
Yeah,
and then here comes the like the mixture of Goro and Machamp, and just does some crazy shit. By the way, they
did Goro better than Mortal Kombat.
They did. They really did.
Absolutely did. Yes.
I thought that was great. That guy at first, when I first watched him last night on the stream, because it was a little bit choppy watching it through RJ's.
I thought it was a Rancor at first.
That's what I thought too. And then when I watched it today on my big screen, it looked like a Harryhausen, right? Like an old 1960s, 1970s stop motion.
I think Rob Rodriguez is very much inspired by Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah,
that episode.
It felt kind of Clash of the Titans like a little bit in regards to its animation, because you could tell that it wasn't it felt like it wasn't. It skipped some frames. I feel like maybe I'm not too sure, but but I still really like that. But what I really enjoyed about the show was just like how it dropped us right in. There wasn't any setup. There wasn't any, let's go into the backstory of like how we got there. It's just like, all right, I'm in charge now, so fuck you, pay me.
Actually, I thought the episode was going to open with the post-credit scene being the opening scene, and then we cut to the present. But I'm glad they did that. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, another thing too is again, the whole thing with the plot armor is I believe Rodriguez had said that, or someone had said that the Sarlacc pit is more or less designed to eat organic, right? It eats organic, so it's going to take a little bit of time to get through all the armor. Yeah. And but then then of course he was able to kind of punch his way through and flamethrower his way out, and the thing's still organic on the inside, so it's gonna feel flame. It's gonna maybe let him get out or kick him out.
I was gonna ask, you guys prefer this to Legends, where it was Dengar that helped Boba get out, or what?
Well, I mean, they're good either way. Like, I was up to Legends for a long time, but I kind of like this. It showed that he did it on his own, which means he's a badass. Like, it goes against us. And like what Andrew Dunbar's put in the chat there, like in Return of the Jedi, he is smacked in the back and flies down into the Sarlacc pit. Like, he's not a badass in that movie.
Well, he went out in a stupid way. Like, Boba Fett, we love Boba Fett, but let's be honest here. They kind of because
he was in over his head.
Yes.
I mean, and I think the cockiness of the character, the cockiness of him on that Sand Scarif now kind of makes a little bit more sense. They kind of not that they retconned it, but maybe they give it a bit more explanation. Like, the character is definitely one that's gonna rush into shit and maybe not think about it all the way through.
And then he's evolved though. That's the thing, Matt. Like, he's evolved now. He's more standoffish. He's more thinking about the way that he wants to do things. Like, he's got this opportunity now to rule without fear, but with respect. Like, I like that. That's an evolution of the character. That's what it is. So it makes sense to me that they say that it's weakness. I don't think it's weakness. What it is him trying to actually do something different. He saw how Jabba ruled. He worked for Jabba. So now he's trying to do something different because he probably felt like when like Jabba ordered him to do stuff, he was doing it out of fear, basically. So now he wants to do the respects side of it and see if that actually works more effectively.
But I also think that ties into the Tusken Raider chief. I think the 5 years spending with them is what changed his mind, because it's possible that he would have he didn't kill the dog when he knocked the dog out, but he could have killed the dog, but he was gentle. So even then he was not trying to kill anyone, because he could have just killed that kid at the end and gotten away. You know what I mean? Yes. And he didn't. And so it's like he sees something there, but he's also, I guess,
that's a great point. Actually, when he killed that monster, he could have easily just overpowered the kid and ran away at that point because he was free of the chain. But he didn't. He went back with them. So
the thing is, it's like what it reminded me of? It reminded me of Dances with Wolves. That's what this whole scene reminded me of.
I saw some people criticizing that today.
Yeah, some people. I think it was John Campea actually said that the episode.
It literally why? It's like the First Nation.
Well, no, because Campea said that nothing happened in this episode and that it was really just Dancing with the Wolves.
Oh my God, John
Campea. As long as he doesn't tell me to look at Tamara Morrison's job.
Let's take the guy that spoiled No Way Home with pictures and put his watermark on it, and we'll take his opinion seriously.
As long as he doesn't tell me to look at Tamara Morrison's Johnson, I don't care.
I mean, I thought that was really ridiculous though, saying that it's nothing happened in the episode. Rewatch it again. A lot happens in the episode, but it's very simple. Happens. But it's it's establishing.
You know what I love though?
Growth. Hey, you know what it is? It's character growth. It gives room for the character to grow.
But you know what I really love this episode though?
Shootout every single episode. So dumb.
What I loved especially, visual storytelling. If you think about it, in much of this episode, there was no dialogue. A lot of it, especially the opening of the episode, was just visual storytelling, and I love that.
Yeah,
that's Star Wars.
And I've been loving picking through all the Easter eggs and stuff. I guess apparently the Rhodian that he was with there at the camp there. This is just fun facts. Apparently, it was voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yeah. Darth Maul himself, man.
And then also the Cantina theme,
the blue guy.
Yeah, the Latin version came back. The guitar part of that was played by Robert Rodriguez himself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, was he in costume? Was he in costume?
No.
Okay. He just played the music.
The audio itself.
Okay. Well, yeah, because
Cantina theme Latin variation, whatever by.
Well, not only was it Max Rebo came back, but the bartender was Rex from Star Tours.
Oh, was it?
I didn't know.
It's the same. It's the same bot. But
I didn't notice that until I watched it with my dad earlier tonight. He's like, "Is that the guy from? Is that the robot from Star? Is that the droid from Star Tours?"
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, it is.
It's Rex, baby.
Also, shout out to Max Rebo, the Return of the King.
Yes,
exactly.
Yes,
the blue man.
Oh my God,
when they walked into into that whatever the place was, the casino. Did you like the remix? It was like a Latino, Mexican version of the Cantina song from the original trilogy. It was had the Mexican sort of. I was like, that's a cool take. I liked it.
It had some solid vibes to that. I enjoyed. I think I'm going to say this though. Probably one of my favorite things in the episode was the Gamorreans, because you finally get to see the Gamorreans kick ass. And they're not just being, they
stationary.
Yeah, and they're loyal as fuck, and you're like, all right, cool. I really enjoyed.
He just that one butchered a man. They just cut his throat.
Cut his throat.
Very bloodlessly cut his throat. He just
don't give a shit. They're like, all right, you fucking up my master. All right, your ass is dead.
Well, here's Andrew here with $5 makes a great point. Says also Boba Fett can't be chopping off heads on characters of a Disney story. Well, no, he probably can. Because beheading is a big part of Star Wars. It fits into the whole narrative of it. But
it happened to his father.
It did. And that was under Lucas, not under Disney. But
also, it was really cool in the opening scene where they had the flashbacks to Camino and Attack of the Clones. Because if you think about it, Disney really hasn't been acknowledging the prequels on film or television as much as they used to. Which it was nice to get that back again. Yeah, a little bit of the prequel era again.
I didn't expect that.
Well, what I like about that is I've really been wondering if we're going to see a bit more of Camino in regards to we got a lot of Camino with the Bad Batch season 1, and I'm really hoping we get a bit more with it down the road in some aspects with the cloning, but I don't think we're going to go back to that. But again, seeing little Boba there on Geonosis right there with his father's severed head, was cool to see.
Did
And
you
then
realize
of course,
that scene was more cleaner?
yes,
And
it
the
looked.
helmet was also more cleaner, like as if like they kind of reshot that scene or
I
something.
think that's a new shot
Okay.
with a different kid
I-
and a different
Yeah.
helmet.
I know. I
there's
think it was
some
just a
differences too
I
between
think it
the
might
two
have been a
clips.
different take. I think it might
it-
have been a different take from the same movie.
I think the first
It-
part
there's
was.
differences.
I don't think that where you know the actual cut between the two edits there. I think the first part is actually from Attack of the Clones, like it's an alternate take from that shot, or like a longer take from that shot. I think the second half is a new shot.
It's possible
Yeah.
they did the they just redid the
Because you don't
CG
see
for
Daniel
it.
because you don't see Daniel Logan's face.
Yeah.
Also,
So-
I just want to say shout out to my New Zealand brother. No hard feelings, mate. In the middle of that episode, when he's talking to the dog, I was like, "Yep, they're putting more of it into it because they had him using that stick right in the first one. I forget the name of it now, but it's an actual New Zealand like warrior fighting stick because he's a master in their like martial arts down there. So like he put that into Boba Fett in the Mandalorian, in that episode where he's cracking the skulls of the stormtroopers, and they did it again in this one. Like they're like putting more of New Zealand culture into Star Wars, which is pretty cool.
I love that.
Also, Sam
The
Witwer.
gaffy stick. It's a gaffy stick, I
Yeah.
think.
Gaffy stick, that's the name of it. Yeah.
Sam Witwer voiced the other Rhodian prisoner.
Okay,
Yeah.
bro,
Like
my
that,
thing's
yeah,
turned off.
yeah.
I do want to adjust this one here. Simon Session, $10 super chat, buddy. Thank you very much. Says, I smell conspiracy in the book of Boba Fett. The scene where Boba and Fennec are walking together, we see the dog robots from Boston Dynamics, who coincidentally resemble the chicken pig from Shang-Chi.
His name is Maurice, first and foremost.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Morris. Come on.
Put some
Maurice was
respect
great.
on that name.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I didn't see the dogs from Boston Dynamics, but if anything is gonna eventually
Those
take
were-
over the
Well,
galaxy, it's
wanted
gonna be
to- I wanted
that.
to ask you guys
Robots.
this. I wanted to ask you guys this question. I feel like this is my only criticism of the episode because I really liked it, but I do have to agree with some people that I wish there would have been a stronger hook or lead in for the second episode. Because each of the premieres of Mandalorian season 1 and season 2, there was something at the end to entice you to want to stick with the series. I feel like this could have had a stronger hook or ending. Like
I
we
will
should have
agree.
cut back to the president or something to see like who hired the people who went after Boba or something like that. Something at the end to kind of like entice the general audience to want to stick with the show.
Yeah,
That's
and
my only
one of
complaint.
and in my minor filmmaking criticism, and this is not actually really Disney's fault. I blame the pandemic more than anything else. Is there's definitely like there's more volume shots, like the nighttime shot when Boba's running away, like when it's just him and like the 6 Tusken Raiders, and it's like the nighttime shot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, like that shot I think was shot in the volume. Like you can almost tell because it seems like the draw distances are like you can almost see where the walls hitting the side and things like that, like where the screens are hitting the wall. But
I mean,
other
you're
than
also
that-
dealing with like with the volume, you are still dealing with like a lack of light because they're
Exactly.
they're using natural lighting effectively.
and that's my only that's really my only like sort of filmmaking criticism, and like maybe some of the action seems a little bit sort of, I won't say stilted, but like it I don't know, like it seems like they're probably gonna like it'll smooth itself out
Some of the-
as filming takes place.
For me, the editing on the final fight scene with was that Crimson Guard or Crimson Dawn, because it kind of seems like Crimson Dawn.
There might be, or it might be the mayor's personal guard. We really don't know yet.
Oh, well, yeah, which I think, well, the mayor could also be Crimson Dawn. You know, I mean, that's the whole thing is like if Jabba, we don't know, was Bib Fortuna a crime lord, or was he just like another vassal or something along those lines? Like, did he, because that's the whole thing. Like, do you really think Bib Fortuna would have been able to like hold power over everything by within the 5 years after Jabba's death?
No, I
He-
think Bib Fortune was probably the middleman for someone else. Like he was kind of just the guy that, like he really just because you noticed he was fat and everything, right? It seems like to me at least that he probably just had that position and was just like enjoying the pleasures out of it while someone else really ran the show.
Yeah.
You also realize that like the funny thing is that Boba kind of makes a sly at Bib's weight when he says he doesn't want to be carried on because he saw what it did to Jabba and Bib. It made them fat. So he's like, I don't want to be carried around. Nope.
Yeah, well, he also, I think, wants to make sure too that people
Yeah.
realize that like he's not the
Right.
same. I really hold on here. Andrew says for $5, thank you. I mean, he says, I mean, they can't do Goodfellas style organized crime. Daniel Logan was credited in the episode. So, I mean, I do think that was an alternate shot of Daniel Logan, which was great to see, by the way. I love the reference to that. Again, I mean, look, if you're going to give us, if you're going to give us Tamara Morrison back as Boba, then having a little Daniel Logan cameo in the beginning of it's going to be, I think, perfectly fine. I think a lot and a good nod to everything as well. I'm trying to think of the other thing too is like, so they, I really want to know more about the Tusken Raiders and their societal structure because
isn't this like the first time we've seen Tusken Raider like chiefs and like hierarchy? Because it seems like a very like either it's like an offshoot tribe or something. We've never seen like a structured Tusken Raider society.
Mando and Boba is trying to humanize them more because like, and I think it's also with that that tribal feeling as well. Like it's like you're getting to get to know these people that they're the natives of Tatooine, and that that they have a culture, they have something. They move Tatooine along.
I have a thing. I went to his Daniel Logan's Twitter page. Just curious whether or not people talked about that shot that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And he said the guy said this shot was in the AOTC. Was it unused footage or did they recreate this? And he said that particular over the shoulder shot is new. The rest of young Boba Fett is from the 2000 in the 2000 shot in Australia. So just the overshot where he like looked at the clean helmet, that's new.
Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, okay, that's interesting. I mean, as weird as it is to say, like, I'm kind of like, I'm not against it, but I kind of feel like it's like, don't they have that footage? But I guess they were just pulling from like maybe the archives or something, and they needed just to get a clean insert right there. And that kind of shot literally would take like 2 seconds. Just like hand him the helmet. All right, camera. All right, we're done. You got 5. King of Golden State here, $5. Thanks, buddy. Says elephant in the room. Boba Fett has the cleanest teeth. Just saying. Yeah, I always noticed that in those kind of movies.
Acid really did something.
By the way, the back to tank solves all. That thing can heal anything, pretty much, except for Darth Vader. Apparently, lava it can't get really healed that well, but acid from the Sarlacc can.
Well, it might be like surface level stuff. I mean, look at Luke in Empire. He had hypothermia.
Oh, I know. I'm just saying, like the fact that Tamara Morrison looks just like Tamara Morrison now. It's like, oh, I'm fine. But Anakin, he goes to the back to take like every single night, but he still looks the way he does.
He lost limbs.
Oh, I know. It's just me.
I think probably it's there's got to be some sort of narrative reason behind it, but like I would imagine it's kind of beyond because it's beyond superficial.
Right. I also think because the way we saw the flashbacks, it seems like you have to fight those things, and yet it's like a mental fight as well. So I think Vader was such in a dark place where he can't fight those things, and just dealt with it.
Has that been established in canon though? That when you go in the back to tank to get healed, you're like fighting your personal demons.
I don't know. That's what I'm just speculating. Like maybe that's the case, but I don't know.
But like by the end of Return of the Jedi, Vader's skin looks pretty decent compared to what I would expect it to look like. I mean, it's like smoother, but like still pretty shit.
Isn't there like there's a thing in canon about this? I'm pretty sure that in the comics that they basically the Emperor didn't let him fully heal because the pain fed his like duck energy. Like
that makes sense. That's like the rage kept him alive. Like that.
Yeah, because like apparently
sense.
There's like 1,000 needles in the helmet that like prick him, like to keep him like his flesh from dying, basically. And it's like he's in a constant state of agony inside the suit. So the pain feels the hate inside of him and the dark side of the Force. Like I'm pretty sure that's in canon comics.
That would make sense. The Emperor was controlling how much back he gets.
Yeah.
He gets.
Yeah, apparently now I see that Matt McGloin from Cosmic Book News is trying to talk about the average audience score of Boba Fett. It's like 78%, I guess, or 76% now. I don't know.
That's a bad thing.
I don't know. He just posted it on his thing. I just saw it one of those things that popped up and because someone follows him.
The audience doesn't like it or something.
I don't know.
Do we care? like about Rotten Tomatoes? Like
No,
ratings
we
yet?
really don't. But there's been again, there's like this massive attempt at dunking on everything as it comes
You know what's
out.
so hilarious about this is that for the purposes of like movies that they don't like, and Matt knows who I'm talking about, the purposes that they don't like, the Rotten Tomatoes is like, it's wrong. The critics are out of touch. And then for the purposes of when they are like, oh no, it is like, clearly it's clearly it's the greatest, and they're like, and then they skyrocket the Rotten Tomatoes. They take screenshots of it and put it in all of their thumbnails. It's like, I don't understand. Like I don't understand. It's for clicks. But yeah, that's why I don't take Rotten Tomatoes seriously, because
I use it as a reference. As just a
there's
reference.
There's actually one YouTube critic that I watch because he has a lot of the things that he likes, I like as well, and I give the same ratings to, and a lot of things he doesn't like, I don't like. So it makes sense that if he's going to like something and recommend it, I'm going to probably watch it because
Who is it?
fall in line. Chris Stuckman.
Same here.
Okay. Like, and he doesn't bullshit anything. He just says what he feels about the movie. Like,
I thought you were going to go Jeremy Johns, because Jeremy Johns.
Jeremy Johns is okay. Like, he's not as serious. Whereas Chris Stuckman makes movies. Like, he wants to make movies. He's interested in cinema. Like, so it's easy to take his opinions like on board, like, because he constructs the film for what it is. I kind of like that sort of critique. Jeremy Johns is fun, but he's more of a like, hey, this movie has this, and this. It's pretty fun. You should see it. Like, what I will say is they're both not owned by anybody, which is why I like them. Like, they don't like have like some allegiance to particular production company. So, their opinions can still be trusted to a degree.
Oh, I get called a shill all the time because I happen to like most things, but I'm very open about how I like most things and why I like most things.
And one of my other issues with the tomato meter, particularly for the critics side, is it's not an average, it's an aggregator. So basically, if you have 100 reviews and you have 65 fresh reviews and 35 rotten reviews, the tomato meter will be 65%. That's my problem.
Yeah, because fresh counts at 3. If you give it a 3 or more, it's a fresh. Like,
but my problem, like I said, is it's on an average. Like, it's a full on aggregator, which drives me up the wall, and it's like it's why you can't use them for narrative.
The other side of that too is when the person puts in their review, they select the quote that they want to put, their snippet that they want to put in there, and then they give it a rating, and then they say rotten or fresh. So you'll see sometimes when they'll have ones that will be like a really crappy quote and they give it a fresh rating, or a positive quote and they give it a rotten rating, because they're the ones that get to choose, and then that's what gets aggregated in. So
it's so stupid too,
it's a very weird thing.
Like, this movie has problems and this and that, and then they give it a 4 stars, and I'm like, how do you give it a 4 star after you've written that review where you've labeled a lot of negative things about this film? Like, you're not being accurate with your rating.
That's why that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to really figure out like a format to like dive into, like, discuss movies, because I don't want to rate them necessarily, but I do want to discuss like the tenets of them and like what I feel about certain things, and then like trivia and stuff. And I'm working on that for next year. However, I do want to get this to the super chat here for Hans. Is for RJ. Says, tell RJ that a hook at the very end of the episode is cop-out writing. We don't need it for this episode for many reasons I can't fit. And
I love how he gives you $5 to say this when you could just like send me a message on Discord. He's like, I'm just gonna give Charbo $5.
Oh, was Kevin Smith writing this show at some point?
I'll tell you this though. I agree with Hans, actually, 100%. I don't feel there was a hook at the end of this episode. When I watched it again, you know what I wanted? I wanted more, but it's not that I wanted more. Like, I felt like I missed out on something. What I got at the end of that was like, okay, now we're getting some character development. Now we're getting some story, because the last shot of that is them walking back in, and the kid has the head of that weird ass creature. And then the kid is telling the story as if he killed it. And everyone is giving the kid credit. And then there's Boba, and the chief, which is, I'm assuming, the kid's dad, comes over and he hands him a water. And then, without saying anything, because they don't have to say it, that's why visual storytelling is key. You understand respect
Yeah.
is given.
Well, I'm just saying
and
for the
that
general
sets it
audience,
up.
though, the general audience though might be looking for some kind of hook or lead in.
No, I
you
get
know?
that. I get that.
Or maybe they should establish who the villain in the series is or something like that. I'm not. Like I said, I love the episode. I'm saying from a business perspective, they maybe could have had a better hook,
Sure.
if you will. You know?
Well, I'm gonna go watch it again tonight before I go to bed. Anyway, I freaking loved it so damn much. But I will say what I thought was cool. I was telling RJ this earlier. The Trandoshan. I can never remember the name.
Trandoshan.
The Trandoshan in the beginning when they were doing the tributes.
Yep.
Did you guys see what he was tributing?
Wookiee pelt.
It was a Wookiee pelt.
Trandoshans hunt Wookiees for sport, chat.
So I thought that was great. I thought that was awesome that it was a Wookiee pelt.
I loved it. I love that, and I love seeing an actual practical Trandoshan talk because you just kind of saw Bosk stand there, and then really, other than that, you see Bosk talk in Clone Wars and stuff like that, but that's CG. To see a practical or even Trandoshan physically there was cool.
I enjoyed that little bit. But then, what do you guys think about the mayor's his messenger? I thought like the performance was like
he was a little weird,
bit weird. In like the second,
Crispin Glover.
Yeah. It felt like that. He felt a little Willardy, maybe a little George McFly-esque. Or what the thin man from fucking Charlie's Angels.
And Boba will crack a joke in the next episode in front of the Major Domo. You just hear him go.
What I love is just with that whole scene though is just like when he goes like, I'm here, there's a little matter of tribute, and Boba's like, what? And then Fennec's like, I think they want you to pay him, and he turns to her like just goes, but I'm the crime lord, he pays me. And I told this to RJ earlier too. I said like, oh dude, this is when he's in over his head. And that's one thing I love about that. But I did see Paul. I know you have to get out of here, buddy. So if you got a dip, that's all great.
Yep.
Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one, buddy. We'll see you later. We'll have to get you on for next week. We're going to talk more episodes as it goes on.
Awesome. All right, I'll
buddy.
catch you later.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. But I love, that's the whole point, as I feel like Boba is just like in over his head. The best decision he made was actually trusting somebody else that he normally wouldn't trust. And with the Gamorreans.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I really liked it because like when they come running out and they're just like they start just striking those guys and shit, and then Fennec uses it as a way to get the upper hand on that, and then they all just start fighting. I thought that was pretty badass, and then Boba loses his shit and just like blows the dude up with a fucking rocket as he's trying to get away.
That's Boba. That's Boba right there.
Yeah, that's gonna establish that he's got a little bit of firepower in his pants. But here's the thing, Simon with the $10 super chat, buddy. Thank you again. Great point here. He says, do you guys think that parkour will be a permanent thing in the Star Wars TV show? If so, I hope Disney raises the stakes. I want to see a parkour scene at Coruscant like Attack of the Clones, but better. I mean, you know what? Visual storytelling on that front is going to be something where they might do it. They did it a little bit in the Bad Batch, actually, with Fennec Shand in one of the earlier episodes. Never mind when she's fighting somebody else down the road. I don't want to spoil who it is if you haven't seen it yet. But because I don't know. What do you think, TW? You think they might do some more with the parkour on this? Because maybe
I don't know. Maybe a little more hardcore parkour. I don't know.
I wouldn't mind more parkour in Star Wars. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
I could see it happening a lot in Andor, especially because you got Tony Gilroy, the guy who basically headed up all the Bourne films. I'm like, I could see them doing something with that. I could see it showing up there in some capacity.
Yeah, they're going to need to up the stakes action-wise. And I will say, though, I do kind of agree with Campia a little bit from what I was hearing about how the fight scene was a little, clunky.
Yeah.
And some of the editing did feel a little clunky, but, I also feel that when you watch something like this your first time around, it's really difficult to, I think, really kind of dive into it and pay attention. That's why I watched it again today, and I'm going to watch it again tonight. Because I feel like it's just, I really want to dive into the nuance of this show and really start picking it apart. Because, if you go and you look at even the first episode of Mandalorian, that was Dave Filoni's first attempt at directing live action. Even that fight scene at the end with the shootout was a little bit on the clunky side as well, but it worked in what they were trying to go for.
Yeah.
And then go and even go and look at what happened with episode 5 or chapter 5, the gunslinger from season 1. where the fight scenes there were again a little bit all right, whatever. But then in the chapter from season 2 with Ahsoka,
that was amazing.
That was
Amazing
up.
action.
His game just upped in that whole period. Like they just brought it for that. So I mean, and Rodriguez giving us that, that 1 minute and like 30 seconds of Boba Fett fucking up stormtroopers from the last season of Mando.
Because Robert Rodriguez knows how to do action. And that's why I can't wait to see him do it, because I think he's doing another 2 episodes or another episode in this season.
He's doing.
I think he's directing like at least 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah, he's doing enough of them. I forget who else is directing.
John Favreau and Bryce Dallas Howard are directing the other.
Dave Filoni and
you name it.
Okay, so Filoni
Something
directing
green.
an episode, somebody's gonna pop in. That's gonna be when we get like a real big cameo.
Next week's episode is directed by Dave Filoni.
Then I think we're gonna get that big cameo, because that was the thing too, is that they had said that the marketing was only from the first 15 minutes. But it had clearly shown other little snippets from other episodes. So, so that was a little bit of the false advertising on their part. I mean, at least with making that claim. And I think they were just trying to keep, they knew the hype would be maximum. And I think they were trying to keep it pretty, contained to an extent. Because I think the story, as it unfolds, kind of like Hawkeye, is going to start breaking the internet week to week. I think this was just a way to get us in the door. It didn't break anything spectacular, but it gave us an idea of who the character is and everything else.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Dave Filoni and Steph Green are directing next week's episode.
Okay. I mean, I know Deborah Chow is working on Obi-Wan, but I kind of feel like she would handle. I would love to have seen her take on an episode of this.
Steph Green did Watchmen, the HBO Max series.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the
okay.
HBO series, yeah.
I mean, yeah, no, that was a solidly directed show all the way through. So, I mean, they're bringing in good talent for this. I think Boba Fett's got one of the most diverse, directing backgrounds. His
Jon Favreau wrote all the episodes.
Okay.
Interesting.
Did Ricky Famuyiwa, did he direct any of the episodes? I don't think so. I don't think he did.
No, what's he? I think he's doing something right now.
Whatever it is, I want to see.
Episodes is directed by Robert Rodriguez.
Okay.
So he's directing the pilot and then the last 2 episodes.
I agree. There should be more.
Now, Tony here asks, who do you think will cameo in the next episode?
Hondo.
You think it's Hondo?
Hondo and Naka?
Could you imagine the twist? The twist is that the mayor. That's some sort of handle he uses while he's on Tatooine. Oh, this is me going legit.
I think it's gonna be Cad Bane. I think it's Cad Bane.
Interesting.
I think the finale hitter. I think the finale hitter will be Mando. And as the episode 6 hitter, and then episode 7 Mando is totally an episode, but helmet on.
I can definitely say that I would not be opposed to seeing someone, someone who we know from other video games and comic books and novels. Dash Rendar. That would be a lot of fun. But we did see the Outrider, Dash Rendar.
Who's that?
From Shadows of the Empire.
I don't know who that is.
That's Caden's 19. So he's. I am not saying
Dash
that
Rendar,
to be me.
I don't know who that is.
I'm not saying that to be me.
I know.
It's just
do you know who Dash Rendar is?
I somewhat know what Dash Rendar is. Yeah.
You know who Dash Rendar is, right?
I'm more familiar with Kyle Katarn and that whole storyline. I mostly played Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast 2. Those are my games. I was never a big Shadow of the Empire guy.
Yeah, but either way, Dash Rendar, I would think it'd be cool. Plus, like I said, you see at least the same class of Corellian cruiser that is the Outrider, which is Dash Rendar's ship in the New Hope Special Edition, flying away from the Cantina. So that would be cool. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But
in one of the little teases that they put out for the episode for the show, there was a ship that they showed flying into Mos Eisley or Mos Espa, and there was some speculation amongst some of the Star Wars Twitter accounts that they were like, oh, is that this ship? And that ship was Dash Rendar's. And one of the things that I've speculated along with Mikey Sutton when he was on here is that, look, with the fact that what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to make it all connected, obviously. And I think they're trying to tie it in to like the in-between stories, right? The in-between chapter or episodes. Yeah. And I do think if they're going to give us Heir to the Empire, I think we're going to get Shadows of the Empire as well. I just feel like that's going to be.
Well, we're already kind of getting that in the comics anyway. Like where War of the Bounty Hunters and Crimson Reign is kind of sort of the canon, quote unquote, replacement for Shadows. Like it fits the same idea. Like Han Solo's carbonite slab goes missing. Everyone's trying to go and find it, and like that's effectively kind of what War of the Bounty Hunters is, in a gross sort of oversimplification thing.
No. Well, I mean, I haven't read it because I need to sit down and read it all because I really want to start reading more of these comics. But I mean, I feel like what they're trying to do right now is look, I look at Boba Fett as a one-off limited series. If we get more, awesome, but I don't think we will. One thing I did see though is there was an image of Tamara Morrison as he was wearing some Boba Fett merch, which looked like really awesome. But he started growing out his beard.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
And, yeah. Oh yeah.
He'll probably be in Ahsoka as Rex.
Yeah, because they start shooting Ahsoka next year. So
yeah.
I thought there was going to be like a stinger of him as Rex in like one of the Ahsoka episodes where like she goes back to her hut or something. You hear some old guy coughing in the corner trying to pour himself a drink, and he's all not old and decrepit, but he's definitely an older guy. He's aging half, double the speed of normal humans, right? It's like, I can do it, kid. No, I got it, Rex. Something like pour him a drink or something and sit and cheers,
I mean, yeah, it's obviously, because we have it confirmed that Rex was on Endor. Yeah. And the Battle of Endor. So we know that was him now.
I was going to say, Captain Rex could definitely be a character that could pop up in this show potentially.
Look, listen. You want to break the fucking internet, all right? You give me some Captain Rex. I am so happy that Tamara is back as Boba. The fact that they did it shows you that they actually give a shit about the audience and that they listen to what the audience wants. And if they're only going to do a limited series with this or whatever, then they're going to probably go, hey, well, do you want to stick around for a little bit and like grow out the beard, and we'll do Ahsoka and you can be, you can be Rex, because the other thing to that too is the Hot Toys licensed Tamara Morrison's likeness.
They did. Yeah, they did.
And so for those Hot Toys, they got Tamara Morrison. So, at this point, they've established that is what the character model looks like in these toys. And sure, we saw them in Attack of the Clones as well, nearly 20 years ago, which is so weird to think that that's going to be 20 years old in May.
Next year is 20 years of Attack of the Clones.
Do you guys know who Matt Berry is?
Yes, I do.
He was in this episode. He voices the droid. He was in the IT crowd. If you guys have ever seen the IT crowd.
That was him.
In the Shadows. He was also in What We Do in the Shadows. But he plays that white droid that's like in the Hutt's palace.
Yeah, he's got a very distinct voice, which I didn't know that was him. But I kept wondering why I kept seeing gifs of him popping up on Twitter afterward. So now that makes sense. I didn't know that. Now you know.
It's like up here. I don't know if it's the same in the States, but there's an Advil commercial up here that I am almost 100% certain is voiced by Matt Berry. I am almost 100% certain.
I don't know. I feel like
I'll send it to one of you guys.
Wait, hold on. Okay, so we got Richard Ayoade twice in Mando, season 1 and season 2. Now we got Matt Berry voicing a droid.
Where's Chris O'Dowd? We need Chris
exactly.
O'Dowd. Just start filling out the IT crowd cast. That's what I was thinking.
It'll happen.
Dude,
Just give it time.
That would be so great if that happened, man. I would love that if they brought that in. Because what I love is
it's like, excellent. We're promoting you to teams management,
just to have them bicker amongst each other would be
it's not for you, Jen.
Yeah. Oh my God. Real quick here. Command you here with 15 shekels. Thanks, buddy. Says Jar Jar Binks and Boba will help the Gungans fight an Imperial remnant on Naboo, possibly by arming them. You know what, man? Fuck it. Do it. Bring back an older.
At this point, everything's possible.
I have a crazy Babe Ruth called shot that if it's correct, I would stand and applaud. What if we see at some point in this show, in a flashback, Daniel Logan in the Boba Fett suit.
That would be cool. Okay. So hold on.
Like as a younger Boba pre.
Yes,
like,
but there's
new
only
Boba.
one moment where that would be necessary, really, and that would either be with Hondo, right? With Hondo, or if they bring back Cad Bane.
Oh yeah, do the
and they do that deleted scene that never got finished. I mean, showing how he got the bump in the helmet. If they like, I don't know if you guys have seen the Clone Wars, but like, and you know, and Bad Batch and whatever. Like, Cad Bane is the shit.
Cad Bane's Cad Bane.
Like, when Cad Bane popped up in Bad Batch, I legitimately was like pumping my fists in the air and excited. So if they give us Cad Bane in live action, which was one of the things that was rumored actually a couple weeks ago when that plot leak came out,
it was Cad Bane, Bosk, and Kira.
And Kira from Solo, which is why I was asking if the guys who attacked were Crimson Dawn, because they're wearing the crimson outfit, you know. And so it's like, I haven't watched it yet, but I need to watch Star Wars Explains breakdown of it, because he usually does a pretty good job.
I'm gonna probably wind up watching that after.
I know that LRM online reported that Bosk will be in this show. So if LRM,
how reliable are they though?
Because they did get Cobb Vanth correct for Mando season 2 that Timothy was playing him after the hashtag show said that he was gonna be Rand Dash Jar, whatever the F that guy's name is that you guys mentioned before that.
Dash Rendar.
So because hang on, I have a question for you. So because Timothy Oliphant, because that confirmation of that scoop that Timothy Oliphant was in Mandalorian, does that lead you to believe that using them as a source should be justified?
No, I was no.
Oh,
oh my god.
Oh, that was good. That was solid.
Let me look at the other exclusives and I'll tell you.
That's it.
There was okay, hold on. There was a super chat here that I want to get from Simon Section. Thanks, man. Yeah. It says, educate me, Jarbo. If Omega shows up in live action, will she have aged? I don't need an Anne Rice rip situation. I don't understand the Anne Rice reference, to be honest with you.
I'm thinking, well, what did like Lestat stop aging?
Yeah. Or it's like Kirsten Dunst's character in The Interview with the Vampire, you know, like how she was much older, but she stayed that age and very much wanted to still have relations with Brad Pitt.
That really would not make sense, especially in the sense that, like, if you consider the fact, how far you want to go into spoilers for Bad Batch, Jarbo?
I mean,
with regards to Omega's character and who she is,
it's been a long time since it came out. I mean,
it's been almost it's been like 8 months since it came out almost. The
reason I say is Omega and Alpha, right? Omega is, other than Boba, the only other unaltered clone.
Mm-hmm. So and she's literally the Omega to his Alpha. Like, they're intrinsically tied together.
Yes, Alpha was Boba's code name, by the way, in chat, for, like, as was mentioned in Bad Batch. So, like, it makes sense that, like, Omega would be that age. I'd like to see who they would cast as Omega.
Yeah, that would be the tough thing, because it's like she'd have to kind of look like a female Tamora Morrison,
kind of.
What
I don't know. I don't know.
What if they, like, actually cast it, like, just, you know, cast a woman actress and then they edit, like sort of do some sort of, you know, masking on of the face.
I think as long as you cast like a good Kiwi actress, it should be fine. I don't think it'll matter.
Well, you know what's funny is the voice actress for Omega is actually around the age that, you know, I think Omega would be in this particular situation.
Oh, really?
Maybe a little younger. I think Omega would be like in her 40s and Boba's in his 50s. But the thing, because they both age at the same time, like they age normally. And with Omega,
Boba was 10 in Attack of the Clones. So
okay, and then how many years after?
Exactly, I'm doing the math here.
Well, wasn't Omega made like really late though, like late into the Clone Wars?
Yeah. I mean, and I think we're going to probably get more about her story in like the Bad Batch season 2, of which there's been no promo for, which is very odd.
Give it another month or two.
I know. Well, I know.
Let's assume for a moment that This begins immediately when season 2 of Mandalorian ends, and let's assume for a moment that season 2 is an extra year after the end of Mandalorian, like season 1. Boba would be about 47. 46
Okay.
or 47 years old.
Yvonne here says Marco Robbie is Omega.
No. Scarlett Johansson will play Omega.
Okay, there you go. She needs
there
work
you go.
right now.
Yeah, ScarJo's desperate right now.
Yeah.
She can play trees. She can play New Zealanders. She can play anyone. She wants
Anything you need.
Anyone.
Anything you need.
anything.
Scarlett can do it. I will. Yeah.
There's
I
an SNL joke about that I gotta go find where they literally got Colin Jost to read it, which was so funny.
Oh, that was the end of. I think it was the end of the last season.
Something like that. Where
it was. Yeah. When Michael Che makes Colin Jost read, or they do jokes that the other one hasn't read yet, and they attacked Scarlett Johansson.
Swap. Yeah. Oh, it was so good.
But I think they all know that it's done with love. Real quick here, Jess asks, did you receive that thing I sent you? No, I was not able to get to the post office today. I know that it's there. We are supposed to be getting another 3 to 5 inches of snow tomorrow, so I may not be able to get anywhere until like the end of the week. This is.
Are you living in like Antarctica? It's like Jesus, man.
No,
like,
it's like it's well.
In like a month.
Well, no, the thing is, like looking at the forecast, it's like maybe like today or Thursday will end up being like 39 degrees of a high, but so that should start melting a lot of it. But we've also got a lot of compacted ice, and the temperatures are going to then drop down to like the low 20s, and so it's going to be, I drive a Kia Soul. It's a freaking 4-cylinder. It's a 4-banger. It's a hamster mobile. So I got to be sure that I'm
giant box.
It's well, that's a Scion, but sure. Let's see here. Elsa Christina, yeah, she hit me up today on Twitter and told me about what John Campia said, saying, "But guys, we didn't know about how we got out of the pit." Some people were complaining about that whole thing because they feel like they didn't need to know. I'm like, we've been debating this fact for nearly 40 years.
Well, it's like to the point where it's a great opening to a show, though. Yeah, it's something like fans have always wanted to see. Like, of course, you're gonna open the show with that. I mean, it's such a silly complaint. It's like, I don't know.
Do you think the series, or at least this season, is going to be like Arrow, where it's just like half present day, half flashback kind of thing?
No, I think we're going to do one more bit of flashback, and that's going to be it. Because
I say 2 more episodes of flashback, but yeah, I think we're pretty much. I think we're going to get close to the end of the flashbacks into the next episode.
Because what we're going to see next is that he's going to end up like becoming part of the like I wouldn't be surprised if the opening couple minutes, the cold open, if you will, of Boba Fett is going to be him going through a montage of working with the Tusken Raiders and like learning their ways and like becoming more respectful of what's around him. And then, like becoming a better person, so to speak, and then getting that character development and then going into everything else, because now we're going to meet the mayor and we're going to see whoever else is there and the other crime lords and stuff. So, they don't have a lot of time. 39 minutes was, I believe, longer than Mando's pilot episode.
I have to go back and look, but that might be accurate.
I mean, well, maybe not. Yeah, it was. I mean, I really wish they would like commit. They would commit to a very specific.
They need to commit to a runtime. I'm getting a little frustrated. It's like 25 minutes.
It was 40
minutes, an hour.
Yeah.
The pilot for Mando was 40. Oh my God.
The most important question though is, do you think at some point, if we see Garsa Fwip again, do you think she'll get covered in some sort of bucket of water at some point?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
It's a Flashdance reference. Like,
I don't know what Flashdance is.
Like
Jennifer Beals.
Jennifer Beals is
I've never heard Jennifer Beals.
I will tell you this though. She looked really good as a Twi'lek. She has not aged
incredibly well.
Yeah,
she is really. She's cool anyway. Like I saw her she was in like a 2-parter of Castle a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah, as like the FBI or CIA agent or whatever the hell it was.
And
yeah.
the cameos that were not the cameos, but like the sort of bit parts on that show. Like there's an episode. I think of the episode's called Abracadabra or something in like season 1, and you see a street performer, a street magician, played by the late great Chadwick Boseman. It's a really interesting. He's only in the episode for like 5 minutes, but it was so cool to see him in. I was doing a rewatch. I'm like, hey, it's Wakanda Forever. Like, it was great.
It's always fun to watch
Also
a lot of
Highmark,
those things
also Highmark.
down the road. All right. Let's see here. Hey, what's going on, Bets? Thank you. 10 pounds, buddy. Thank you. Says Matt, great to hear TW is back. A panel who celebrate your success rather than sit in their lounge jealousy. Oh my God, buddy. I hope Boba
Mark.
episodes would be an hour long. Found the escape rather silly. I like the escape personally. I feel, that it's, either he would have had to have like climbed out bit by bit or like punched his way and flamed his way through an organic material.
I'm almost 100% certain also like the Legends version, if memory serves correctly, was the jetpack starts working again and he flies out.
Well, he gets help from Dengar. That's the big thing in Legends.
But how?
Oh.
I forget. How does Dengar help him?
I don't remember how Dengar helps him. That's one thing I forgot about. But I remember it lets like Boba go to Dengar's wedding or something.
All right,
that's actual Legends storyline. That's pretty major for Legends fans.
That's pretty major. Like, you have saved my life. How can I ever repay you? So I got this wedding, bro. Okay, and I need
I need you as my best man.
I told people I know you. All right, like
protection.
Can you come and just pop in for like 20 minutes? We got some Twi'lek dancers. Gonna be some Tiggle bitties bouncing around. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
And then Dengar goes missing, and they find Black Dengar, and like, and they accidentally grab him instead.
Dengar is in the Force Awakens.
I just got that. Black Dog. No, it's a Hangover reference for those of you who actually were old enough to see R-rated movies in 2009.
I wasn't. I was like 15 when they.
Oh fuck! I'm fucking old. Jesus Christ. Old. I was what 20. I don't know. What was I in 2009? I forget. 27. That's what I was.
8.
You were 8. Jesus. Cheesy crazy, you guys. Thank you very much for that, Benson here. Command Unit here for 15 shekels. Thank you, buddy. He says, I really liked the Gungan Naboo war plot in Legend, the prequel to the prequel films, where the Gungans fought against the Naboo and Trade Federation. I feel like the Gungans need to get a little bit of love, to be honest with you.
And I have a quick question for Command Unit, actually. I'd love to know this. I used to play 40K many moons ago. What video game do you think best encapsulates the tabletop experience? Because I've seen Dark Tide and this and that and some of the games, and I'd love to know what you think would be the best as a video game experience to kind of show some people if I ever wanted to get them into the hobby.
Oh, you're asking Command Unit that?
Yes.
No, this is the guy to talk to when it comes to 40K.
That's why I wanted to ask.
Command Unit, if you can help TW out, that'd be great. Thank you for that, though. You know what it is? I will fully say, I think if they're going to start integrating things in from Legends, giving us a bit more history with the Gungans would actually, I think, be okay. I don't think they would be handled as comically as they were in the Phantom Menace, but imagine an elite Gungan strike force, like Gungan Ops. Call of Gungan.
Yes.
Battle hardened Jar Jar. Misa Jar Jar Binks. Misa fuck you up. You got me some money? I would laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh because I thought it was great. Really, again, just and enjoying the ever loving hell out of the show. Is there any, because we are coming up on the 3-hour mark and I do guys start getting ready to head to bed. Is there any final thoughts you guys have on things? Because there are some super chats still to get to, but just as I get those collected, if you guys want to give your thoughts.
No, like I said, I'm looking forward to more episodes of Book of Boba Fett. I feel like this is a very solid start. And I feel like episode 2 will probably have some major stuff happening in it. I just don't get the complaints personally. I thought this is a really good episode, so why else salty?
Ezra, my boy.
I don't get the complaints for it. The soundtrack, by the way, is fucking fire.
Oh, I love Boba's new theme.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really solid.
There is Crimson Dawn themes in it too, like near 1 minute and 40 seconds to 1 minute and 49. It's like literally 9 seconds taken out of Crimson Dawn and put into this.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
that would indicate then there. I mean, as soon as I heard they were doing the Kira comic, I'm like, they're bringing her back. They're as soon as
Oh,
she's
yeah.
done with
Yeah,
Secret Wars.
because the thing is, like, Marvel Comics is also run by Kevin Feige, and Kevin Feige probably talks to Kathleen. It's like, hey, who's popping up in your shows right now? Let's get some comics done for them. You know, that type of thing.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, again, that's kind of the whole point is the synergy of the company is what's gonna propel this stuff.
Yeah, because if
And-
you also look at it, that Hawkeye's like the Matt Fraction run collection came out during when Hawkeye came out. She-Hulk's comics is coming out like during like June or May or something like that. So like they can tell you the time around when those series are coming out. And Moon Knight's like in March, so it's like it can tell you definitely when those shows are coming out because when the comics are having their collections come out as well.
Okay.
Miss Marvel already had her collection come out, but that was because obviously delays of her project. But so yeah.
All right. I mean, we're definitely going to get a lot of it here. I do want to address this from a cloud, saying that the Starlight Pit was disturbing to watch, especially seeing the Stormtrooper there. I couldn't help but imagine how much of the trooper's flesh had been melted and absorbed under the armor. Oh, yeah.
You know what I was waiting for? What I honestly was waiting for, I know because there weren't any Stormtroopers nearby in Jedi. I was kind of waiting for Boba to grab what's the word I'm looking for? The breathing apparatus, place it under the helmet, and then you have like a jump scare of the Stormtrooper grabbing Boba, like you like can't breathe and trying to grab the thing back from him.
Yeah, but like we didn't see any Stormtroopers fall into the Sarlacc pit.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
The 1,000 years to digest, right?
Exactly.
The 1,000 years to digest.
Who knows how long it's been there? But
yeah. Oh, that would have been cool if it was alive. If he was still if he had been there for like a couple days or something, and then that would have been dope.
Yeah.
Because that would have been fucked up though. You know, like Boba's got to like pull out his oxygen.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you're like, oh my God. I'm very excited for that one. Queen Danny here says Amelia for the win. I think Kira's gonna pop back in this. I really do, and I'm excited for it. I want to see how they're gonna tie it in, which means if they're bringing in Kira, they might bring back in Alden Ehrenreich. Oh my fucking God, dude! I never thought about this. What if the fucking cameo is Lando?
Oh, you're thinking Donald Glover?
Yeah. I mean, because we know a Lando show is coming, and that we know that they're going to want to do synergy.
Oh,
I never put that together. I
wouldn't mind that. I would not mind a Lando cameo.
Because where were they? Where the fuck were they in this episode? They went to a casino. Jennifer Beals is going to probably end up being a bigger part of it. Where does she run a casino? What does Lando like to do? Cheat at Sabacc.
Okay, but like, doesn't this take place like after Return of the Jedi?
Yes, and Lando's alive.
Yeah,
but he should look like Billy D. Williams. I think what Jimbo's trying to say.
Not really.
No, what?
No, because that's like 20 years before.
You could just put some. You could just
literally 25 years before we see him.
Makeup on Donald Glover. Maybe gray his hair a bit.
Yeah, just kind of like age him a little bit more.
Well, what? 10 years after this show, less than 10 years narratively after the show, we're getting a novel, Shadow of the Sith, which Luke and Lando are part of the sort of protagonists for. And I could see, Donald Glover makes sense to have him be Lando.
So apparently Solo takes place 10 BBY. So 10 years. Yeah.
10 years, about 10 years after the events of Revenge of the Sith.
So right around the same time as right around the same time as
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Yep.
Dun, dun,
And how did Obi? Oh my God!
Wait, what?
It also takes place.
Obi-Wan takes place in
10 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, 10 years.
No. It does. Yeah.
And Andor takes place 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. 5 BBY.
We get it.
Interesting.
Wait, hold on. Andor takes place 5 BBY.
Yeah.
Yes, 5 years after. 5 years after.
No, 5 BBY.
It's 5 years before.
Would be 5 years before the Battle of Yavin. So that would be in between Solo, Kenobi, and then A New Hope. So it would be 25 BBY would be 5 years after Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, it's all backwards.
5 years after 5 years after Revenge of the Sith would be 14 BBY. Or not, yeah, 14 BBY because 19 BBY is Revenge of the Sith.
Basically, it's all connected.
RJ's like, fuck math, man. This shit's all connected. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
But I mean, Ewan McGregor and Rosario Dawson. Just Ewan McGregor is reportedly going to cameo in Andor, and then.
How the hell is he going to fit into Andor, though? I'm sorry, I'm just very confused
because
How does Obi-Wan fit into the story
of Andor? An episode because Andor doesn't believe in Jedi in the first season, and I think the first encounter of a Jedi would be Kenobi, and learning because when he's a kid, he's growing up, all the things about Jedi are burned relics and anyone teaching you about the Jedi is a criminal. So so it's like he doesn't know anything about Jedi.
Yeah,
so
I guess. I'm just saying you got to be careful with that though, because I don't want to feel like it's just like throwing an Obi-Wan just to throw him in there, you know.
And then we have Fulcrum, so that's Ahsoka right there, and we have Agent Kallus as well, and Kenobi. So there's definitely some.
Has it been confirmed that Kallus is going to be in Obi-Wan Kenobi?
Kind of.
Define kind of.
I mean, an actor liked the tweet that said that they're Kallus, and then that was the only tweet that they ever acknowledged about their character. So it's just okay.
I'd like to know who that actor is.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. Rupert Friend.
Rupert Friend.
Oh, Rupert Friend. Oh, okay, I like him.
Ooh, as Kallus, that'd be interesting.
That would be. I just wonder if we're ever going to get Cal Kestis.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Because that's right around that same time. Because
around the same time.
Hold on, let me see here. Jedi Fallen Order, BBY. What year does that take place at? Okay, that's around 14 BBY.
Yeah, which is right around when I think Solo takes place.
A year or two beforehand, roughly a couple years beforehand. So Cal Kestis could still be rolling around. We don't know what they're up to following the events of that game. I mean, obviously, we are now waiting for the next game.
Oh, and also, Jordan Mason also said that he's Agent Kallus. That's another thing.
Cool.
Jordan Mason, he's a big Star Wars.
I said cool. Yeah, no,
okay. Yeah.
If Jordan Mason said it, I'm definitely more inclined to believe it because the dude has written for the official Star Wars website in the past.
Yeah, and he also scooped the big Black Canary scoop. So yeah.
Okay. I mean, so there's a lot.
Well, here's a question: if Agent Kallus does appear in live action, do they cast David Oyelowo?
I hope so. I hope so.
They should, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah.
David, he's like. I think it's Rupert Friend.
But what? How? What do you mean? Like just like an audio or something like that?
What do you mean?
But isn't Kallus a white guy?
Yeah,
but look, I mean,
your standard blue-eyed, white, blonde guy.
Who cares?
Who cares? Just cast David. He's a good actor. He did a great job doing the voice.
Oh, I think what they should honestly do is if they're going to bring Kallus in somewhere, what they should do honestly is have an actor that's not David Oyelowo play Kallus, and then have David Oyelowo guest star in that episode as somebody else of importance, at least for the episode.
Yeah, I also think in Dear Varma, how everyone thought she was gonna be I forget Ventress. Yeah. Her and then someone else who the Queen of the Mandalore.
Oh, Satine.
Satine. I think she actually might be Governor Price. Because there was a set foot of her.
I saw her in Imperial uniform. I'm like, yeah, I can buy that she's Price.
Yeah,
I can buy that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Yeah. We'll have to. I mean, look, there's a lot going on with that. There's clearly a lot of moving parts, and they're really trying to. They're trying to build it all out in a way that is going to be. Again, it's going to sustain itself here very, very soon. I mean, Marvel jumped into it by making all those shows, and Star Wars is taking its time, realizing that the brand does need to be rebuilt. And I think they're following a bit of a Kevin Feige playbook by bringing in all these outside characters to tie them all in together, getting the actors to come back and things like that. I think we're going to get a lot of good stuff out of this. And personally, again, I'm very stoked for more. And that's why I'm I agree with Ambassador here, right? Ambassador says, I've seen some really tone deaf comments about the episode. I thought it was really well balanced start to the show, but since it wasn't a shoot 'em up, it was bad. See, that's it doesn't need to be a shoot 'em up. I know people want Boba Fett to fight. That's going to happen. Oh, but in the meantime, they're kind of leaning us back into it, and I thought that was really great. But on that note, guys, there are a few super chats to get to. We also need to do a react to a Warhammer bit. So if you guys have got to bail now, would be a time if you don't want to hang out for a few more minutes. But I just want to give you guys
checking out some 40K stuff.
All right, we'll get that up here in a second. I just want to kind of get through some of these super chats. Andrew Dunbar asked me this a while ago. I just didn't want to we didn't have the time to bring it up. Asking to talk about the Jack Murphy Sydney Watson drama. That ain't movie related. That's a guy who is going.
I had to have him explain it to me.
Yeah. Like, because I jokingly said on Twitter the other day, I said, I'm going to get shit for asking this, but like, why do people keep asking if I'm Matt from Tinder? And that is in relation to the Jack Murphy situation. This guy is kind of like an alpha Chad, like a male man coach, right? And I don't know, he made some comments about were kind of sus about underage dating. And then people were going after him, and then they found out that he had done some videos on Chatterbait with his wife, I think. So they were like leaking out so that went out there. And so, there was also apparently some guy from Tinder who had sex with his wife, making Matt a cuck or making Jack a cuck. I don't know. I don't know. Sydney Watson, that's the Blaze lady that like tore into Nick Fuentes, right? Like I'm so removed from most of this. I don't even know.
I don't know either. It's been a long time since I've consumed any of that content.
I just have kind of been like iffy with it, and I'm like, I don't know, man. Like not for me. Command Unit here did also say this one says react to Hell's Reach Part 1 prologue, 40K story by Richard Boyland. I do have that brought up. We'll watch that in just a second, man. I again, sorry, everything was moving pretty quickly. Couldn't get to that, but I did see that, and thank you. And then let me just make sure. Okay, also Mo Moon here had asked for $2. Says, why is Jarbo joining Vin on bullying The Rock? Because I can. Because I can. And you know what? I want to see Hobbs finish up his part in the Fast and Furious saga. So I feel like, he's kind of being a bit of a punk. And Andrew here for $2 says, if there's no incest, count me out. Oedipus forever. He's referring to, I believe,
both as the Game of Thrones of Star Wars.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you.
I think Oedipus Rex was the birth of the phrase "Go F your mother."
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Go F your mother, kill your father. Have a good day at school, kiddo. And then Matthew Valente here for $5, buddy. Thank you. Says Pixar's Ratatouille is overrated trash with a dumb, uncreative concept and boring characters. Yes, finally someone gets it.
Simp in the chat.
Hell yeah. I do not like
Ratatouille is an amazing movie. It's easily Pixar's best film. I love that movie to death. It's a perfection.
I don't know if he's trolling or not. This is Poe's Law.
Yeah, basically. Who knows anymore? It's all a thing. But thank you for that one. Thank you for backing me up, Matthew. That's hysterical. And I'm glad someone else shares my vision. Nightcrawler, 99-cent super sticker. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. And then Command Unit here with another 15 shekels. Thank you. Says definitely Battlefield Gothic or Dawn of War series. And that is to TW over the type of 40K games to check out.
Thank you very much, Command Unit. Much appreciated. And also thank you for sending 15 shekels Jarbo's way just to answer that question. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. It's been a very good week. It's been a very solid week. You guys have been really supportive, and I really appreciate that. I was talking with Benson earlier today, and he made a great comment about he's like, I like your show because I never know what I'm gonna get.
Oh, that's very true.
Very true. It's very true.
Yeah. I wish I got last night's stream because I need to go through the VOD because I saw karaoke in the title, and I'm like, okay, sure. And then I watched the opening of this stream, and you actually did karaoke because you got like, what'd you say, 10 ID claims or something like that?
Yeah, I got a bunch of ID claims on that video. Yeah. I'm not even gonna fight him. Like, just take it. So there's that. But all right, let us check out the Hell's Reach Part 1 prologue, a Warhammer 40K story. It's 2 minutes 34 seconds. Looks pretty cool. Let me just make sure I got the actual 1080 up, and this is up. All right, cool. All right, it's unofficial.
I will die on this world. I cannot tell where this conviction comes from. Whatever birthed it is a mystery to me, and yet the thought clings like a virus, blooming behind my eyes and taking deep root within my mind. It almost feels real enough to spread corruption to the rest of my body, like a true sickness. It will happen soon, within the coming nights of blood and fire. I will draw my last breath, and when my brothers return to the stars, my ashes will be scattered over the priceless earth of this accursed world. Armageddon. Even the name twists my blood until burning oil beats through my veins. I feel anger now, hot and heavy, flowing through my heart and filtering into my limbs like boiling poison. My hands curl into fists. I am strong, born only to slay for the Emperor and the Imperium. I am pure, wearing the blackest of the black, trained to serve as a spiritual guide as well as a war leader. I am wrath incarnate, living only to kill until finally killed. I am a weapon in the eternal crusade to forge humanity's mastership with the stars. Its strength, purity, and wrath will not be enough. I will die on this world. I will die on Armageddon.
That was good. I like that.
Very cool.
I like the artwork. I thought the art. I thought the artwork was pretty good on that. There was a lot of interesting. Is that like most like marker and pencil? It felt like.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah, I always like that kind of stuff. I like it when they make it work. So, all right, there's another quick thing to watch here. It's very funny. It's if we want to laugh at people laughing at us, but also Todd Fair with $20, buddy. Thank you so much. This is Jarbo. Thanks for that lovely singing of La Isla Bonita and Informer the other night. Like, your singing was so unique. Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
That was so bad.
We can barely get through Informer.
It's so difficult, man. I'm not like a wannabe Jamaican from Canada.
As in, like, Informer, like the snow song?
Yes, yeah. Like a boom boom, yeah. I can't, I couldn't keep up with it.
Boom boom, yeah.
Look, here's
I know every word of that song. I'm not lying.
Here's the thing with that one. I think if you can move your tongue so fast to be able to actually sing that and like at the speed he does, you are like a master of cunnilingus.
Wait,
that's what I'm going to say about that.
Can you do TW?
What?
Can you
no,
sing
we're not
that
doing.
song?
I'm not getting him. If we ever do karaoke somewhere that's not here, I'll try it.
So. No. It's no. Maybe maybe we should do that we'll do it on like Twitch or something like that. So I don't get I don't get shut down because some of those tracks are getting hit pretty hard.
Well, Twitch would probably be worse because Twitch you wind up getting like a DMCA claim and probably nuke your Twitch account from orbit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh well, I mean, I don't care about that. I don't do anything on Twitch these days really anyway, so it doesn't really impact me. But all right, again, thank you, Todd, for that, making me not only you, H-Barts, everyone that night was like super making me embarrass myself. But I had fun with it. You know, that's how it is. You got to have a lot of fun with that.
And I really liked your performance of Macbeth.
Yeah, it was great.
That was fun.
Thank you.
I said the only thing I really would have done different is probably like if I was doing it would have been Scottish accent, but that's me. Mind you,
it's hard to maintain a Scottish accent. I'll just say that. For me, I have trouble with that. I haven't done any. I need to do like I wouldn't mind taking some more acting classes to like get back into it. It's been a long time since I've done acting.
That's a great scene. Like my favorite scene, I think, is scene 7, because I did one of those in like a dramatic reading in class once. Was the final confrontation between Macduff and Macbeth.
Nice. There's a lot. I like Shakespeare. I have not spent a lot of time with it recently.
I do recommend Macbeth. Like it's a really at least to me, it's an interesting story.
Well, I mean,
I know Macbeth like the back of my hand though because it's required reading. Actually, there's the Akira Kurosawa version of Macbeth. I forget what it's called, but that's a good version to watch. Actually, it's quite a good movie. Also, there's the Denzel Washington movie that came out for Apple TV Plus that has Wayne T. Carr in it. Jarbo?
Yeah. I need to go check that out, which would require me to go and get that. But I will say,
and if you get Apple TV Plus, you could also watch Dickinson.
I do want to watch Dickinson. Yes, I do want to watch Dickinson.
Oh my God,
I did just see here that Variety updated in 2 days. Ben Affleck's The Town comes to Netflix. So if you haven't seen The Town is a very, very, very good movie. Mo Moon here with $2 says, I thought Huad turned into Sing 3 for a moment. It kind of did. Just not a good version of Sing 3.
Is there a good version of Sing 3?
It doesn't exist yet. I haven't seen Sing 2. But we need to do a Boss Baby music. Shut the fuck up, geeks. Jesus Christ. No.
Get Alec Baldwin, too. It would be great to see Alec Baldwin sing.
Oh I mean, God, listen, he's already killed one person this year. All right.
You beat me for murdering Joe. I was gonna say we need to bring metal detectors. Make sure he doesn't. He's
Could
not
you imagine
armed.
if like the baby picks up a toy gun and it accidentally like a cap gun or something and it accidentally goes off?
Oh my God!
All right.
Terrible people.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. All right, so let us laugh at people who are trying to attack us. Music Man here says, Matt, no.
Yeah, so just to give some setup, I went to Max's stream and I kind of put up the comments because I just want to see what's going on over there. He got some comments. You know, it's typical. I got this one from Abe, but he says, Jarbo never wanted the Snyder Cut either. He just joined in to be on the right side of history about it. He never wanted it, and he doesn't want more Snyder content. He wants an MCU 2.0 for DC, if at all. Which I laughed at that one. This one got to me, though. All Elite Channel said the son of Jarbo is really triggered about Snyder and Batfleck. And I just responded and said, "Yep, I'm so triggered. That's why I own a Batfleck poster and like 4 copies of BVS and Static each." So I clicked on his channel, right? And you know, it's a wrestling channel, and he apparently he's made a video about Enosh, and he's made a video about Matt, and then 2 days ago he made a video about me. So I figured let's watch that and have some fun.
Yeah. Wait, what was that video about? What was that video about me? I know it says Mundane Matt, like, but I didn't.
Mundane Matt, aka Matt Jarbo and friends with Bottom Barrel Content. It's about your stream with Nicotino. You guys talk about the Suicide Squad. Then he does the typical. He likes to bring. He's a fan of polar bears. I'll say that much. So.
You know what? They are an endangered species.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
And then Enosh's video is like the gotcha with him trying to say, oh, Ray Fisher actually didn't say that, Enosh. So it is what it is. The guy only has like a couple videos. I will say the one that he made about me, though, the editing is pretty funny. It's actually kind of funny.
All right. I got it up right here. I will say this, though. I did look in the comment section of that video. And
guess who's in there?
Yep. Future DC Warrior for Life is in there.
Andre Cedino, the pedophile. So
yeah, so you know, there's that. Like, hold on, Zeno here says RJ knew he is the son of Jarbo.
Well, I just love the title. It's like they just called me the son of Jarbo.
Yeah, this is it, son of Jarbo RJ. I haven't seen this yet.
And Reed Coles would also like to know if they could send you a video.
Hit me up on Twitter. We're not going to do it tonight because like it's already like almost 1 a.m. my time and I got to get to bed. But we can do it tomorrow because it's like the end of the week and stuff. And I'll be home and it'll be fun because I got other Chud Watch stuff too. Like Cameron Pasha was talking about why Cowboy Bebop was canceled. So I want to get into that one. But yeah, set me up on Twitter, dude, and or Insta or whatever, and we'll get into that. So here's the son of Jarbo, comma RJ period. Let's get some justice.
My bio. Pop culture, the Matrix.
See what? Matrix Resurrections.
I've never watched a single Matrix movie, so no.
Oh, man.
You don't know shit!
Who is Jack Shit, you ask? Many people are at a loss for a response.
What?
When someone says,
I am,
you don't
that's for
know
sure.
Jack Shit.
What?
Now you can intellectually handle the situation. Jack Shit is the only son of aw shit and oh shit.
Like I said, it's the impact value of HBO Max, which is what we need to look at, not so much the box office on this one.
Right, that's true. I mean,
That
is
and word of
true,
mouth.
but I don't.
It's just so ironic to hear you say that, Matt Jarbo. The statement you just made. There's so much irony in that.
Oh, because the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
He said it's successful. He said it's successful. Okay, let's get
It's the impact value of HBO Max, which is what we need to look at, not so much the box office on this one.
Instant replay.
Right, that's true. I mean,
That
is
and word of
true,
mouth.
but I don't.
It's just so ironic to hear you say that, Matt Jarbo. The statement you just made. There's so much irony in that.
Is there? Well,
I didn't get this far.
And then how she treated Lawrence's son.
Oh yeah, the 13 reasons why.
What is this article?
Miscommunication.
It's
that's-
always sunny in Philadelphia.
People watch that stuff?
Yeah. Oh,
16
thank you.
seasons.
This
DeVito in it.
They're finally ending.
years ago.
everybody
So they-
talks about this stupid show, and I
Uh-oh.
don't.
So
Really?
they're resurrecting the penguin.
You're a piece of shit, and you're ugly, and you're ooze sleaze, and you're very, very ugly.
I'm
so
what? I'm very confused.
So,
the son of Jarbo?
I will say this. I like the editing. The editing was very nice. I have not watched the Matrix movies, but I did recently on Christmas. The day after Christmas, I watched the very first Matrix movie. So I am working on watching those. So
Yeah.
thank you, Ollie.
how did you like the first Matrix movie?
It was great. I thought it really hooked me in on the world building. I thought the execution of its concepts was really fascinating.
I think the title is very misleading. He said son of Jarbo, but then he said
Yeah.
that you're the son of Jarbo and Enosh. So I think that
Yeah,
title
that
is
was
very
weird. So
misleading.
who got fucked? Was it Enosh that got fucked and impregnated?
We
or was
all
it
did,
Jarbo?
RJ.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I bent Enosh over and I just shot a load up his ass, and out came RJ. A little mixture
Well, they're not
of
very
a kung fu baby.
Well, here's the thing: they're not very consistent on that either, because I get called the son of Mad Max too, so they can't really decide who I'm the son of.
We don't know who the father is. Okay.
We have to put you guys on jury.
Immaculate conception.
Well, you know,
Parental court.
my mom told me that my biological father, one day he went out to go get cigarettes, never came back, so it is possible.
You have three biological fathers.
Was he in the
Jarbo,
Navy?
Enosh, and Max. Gem.
But Jarbo,
no.
he called you out too. He called you out in that video too. I didn't watch
Yeah,
that
I was
far.
mobile. I forget what was going on. I was mobile, so I was working. So I literally do not recall that full conversation.
Do you have a
'Cause that would-
response for Zod Ryder to satisfy him?
What was the irony part of that? I don't remember,
Because you talked about the Matrix Resurrections. I think you said something about. We can go back and look, but he said something
He
about
said about the numbers. And...
the numbers, that they're looking more at the HBO Max numbers versus actual raw box
Oh,
office,
well-
something like that. I don't remember.
Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, Zack Snyder just thing didn't go on theaters, so yeah, boom, clap those cheeks.
Who we clapping?
Well, that's kind of the point, though, is when you look at something like, again, right, we're seeing now is the impact value of stuff,
You know what
and
that was like? You know what that was like? The best way to describe it is the YouTube pop culture version of watching that little video was like watching You know that scene in Toy Story 2 when Ham's flipping through the channels real quick? Like, that's what that felt like in my brain, going from scene to scene to scene to scene, bang, 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 bang. Like, that's just what it felt like. It felt so all over the place.
Well, like I said, I do appreciate the editing, though. The editing I thought was kind of funny.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny.
I'm glad that I finally know jack shit. So, like, I'm absolutely honored. So it's nice to meet you.
Oh well, I finally know. I finally know jack shit too.
Bro, what kind of gay song is that?
And
That's
what's
a very good question.
And
When they bust
what's
out my thigh.
Keep trying.
I keep trying, and then you know
You keep
what
being
happens.
Franco'd. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay.
All right. Well, I'll tell you guys what. We should probably call it a night because I do got to dip.
extremely tired.
It is late, but anyway.
Yeah, but to all Elite Channel, bravo, sir, bravo. My little golf clap for you.
Cool.
Thank you. Keep making videos. Keep doing your thing, man. I enjoy it very much, so thank you.
Thank you guys for popping on in. I really appreciate it. Did not want to go 3.5 hours, but I'm glad I did. And good stream, good conversation. Obviously, we'll have to do another one on Book of Boba Fett Chapter 2 next week. And for all of you guys out there, please hit that like button if you haven't already. There's still 82 of you in here. You guys are GOAT. Thank you, and hit subscribe if you're new. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a great night, and I don't know, like go watch a movie or something like productive.
Go get laid.
Yes. Go
Oh,
fuck.
Party.